The ceiling fans? They're very attractive. What is that?
Because of the following special program, The Twilight Zone will not be presented this evening, but will return next Friday at this time.
Yeah, I don't think so.
You're all individuals!
Clickety-click.
Crank up the music. Keep an eye on the back.
This presentation is provided to you to amuse or entertain and not to conform or inform. The content on this channel should not be used to replace professional, financial, medical, or legal advice. All footage taken and used from public sources falls under the fair use of the Digital Millennial Copyright Act of 1998. Therefore, no breach of privacy or copyright has been committed. This show is sustainably sourced, not affiliated with any community, club, fraternity, or gang. Your cat may vary.
I say, moo.
A crazy man walks into a psychiatrist's office. He's completely naked and wrapped up in saran wrap. As he walks in, the psychiatrist takes one look at him and says, "Wow, I can clearly see your nuts."
Satellite tracking continues.
Wow. Hey, everybody. Wow, we did it again. We made it. It's Friday night. Whoop, whoop. Congratulate yourself. You're on the right side of the grass, the topsoil. So if you've done nothing else this week, you've at least accomplished that. So welcome in, everybody, as the room's filling up. It should be, I think, a banger. I don't know. We'll see, as they say. And my intro, as a lot of people have said, was a little long. The Inagata Davida of YouTube. So I'm trying this out. I did a short version. It was only a minute, and people didn't like it because the music was sped up. So this one I just kind of did an in-between. So hopefully I'll get some feedback on that. Let me know what you think of that. So in any case, enough with that, because there's a lot to talk about tonight, and I want to make sure we get through it all. Iron Butterfly. Yeah, right. Let's see. Who's we? Here we go. Turn on the camera.
Clickety-click.
Hey, everybody. Good to be seen by you all. It's another Friday night. Welcome. And wow, what a week it's been. The show that I always do on Friday nights is sort of like a lot of the news and things going on in the world. and then of course I compare it to scriptures, and then I'll go over different subjects. And this particular one tonight, the Mandela effect, as people like to call it, or quantum effect, it's been one that I have covered so much over the last. It's been about 10 years since I started this YouTube journey. I would say. Where's the? What do I have? And this particular channel is called Ceiling Fan Man. I think it was 2019, but I was doing it before that. The moniker of Ceiling Fan Man, which is a whole other story if you don't know who I am, as to why there's this satellite behind me. Go look up the Mariner 9. Looks like a ceiling fan, and I even have videos on my channel if you want to look them up. They kind of go over the history of that. But that's for another show for another time. That's when we get into a deep dive on space. But tonight we're going to discuss the Mandela effect and how I believe that correlates and proves the little season. Well, actually, kind of, I feel they prove each other.
That's very true.
And just know this: on this channel, you will never hear me saying I know this 100%, other than I tell you my experiences and my feelings and my thoughts. But it doesn't matter what you've read. It doesn't matter how learned you are or how many YouTube videos or books or anything that you've read. Just know this one thing that you'll always hear on this channel.
There are no experts.
Because there isn't. And you can read the book of Job. That's my favorite book in the Bible. I've always talked about that. And it's happened before. People think they know stuff, and they go out there and they present it, but they really haven't looked into it. And so that's the thing. The best we can do is fall in love. But the best that we can do is go over the information with discernment, and for me, throw things to the Holy Spirit when you have a question about something.
True. Yep. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So, where shall we start? I think the first thing I want to do is let me clear some of just the news, and then we'll get right into Mandela effect and how it affects everyone and it affects the scriptures and all that. So in your life too. So, okay, but let's start. Let's get into this. Sorry if I'm sounding rushed. I just want to make sure that I have time to make sure I talk about all the things that I want to discuss tonight. So let's see. We'll start with up here. We'll grab some of our tabs. And before I get too far into this, I want to thank all my subscribers, my memberships, my Patreons, people that support me through either PayPal or Cash App. All that helps. I have found that for me, doing this for, like I said, this particular channel, I think it was 2019. So was that, did you ever do the 9 years, 10 years? I don't know. But 7 years on this channel. And then I think, 2020, so that's 6 years ago in live. I have not been able to break that level of viewers. It seems like, I'm grateful for what I have. And like I'm at 5,000, which is, it's a high number for me. It's the highest I've had yet. But I watch channels that show up 6 months ago or a year ago and zoom past with 20,000, 30,000 viewers, and God bless them, if they can do it. It's just, when you look at my chat versus other chats, this thing's flying. I can't ever keep up with it. In fact, look, there's 2 here, right? Time to pull the chain. Thank you, Hunt and Cover. Jeannie, we got $10. God bless you. And Vincent, great to be here. And I'm so nice that you are here, and thank you for the donation. What I found is, yay, thank you. Well, what I found is that I have other source of income that I can pay my regular bills, because if I had to rely on YouTube, it wouldn't happen. So what YouTube donations and all these other things pay for is like the StreamYard bills and the internet, all the things that I need to run this show. So it makes it self-supporting, and I appreciate that. And if there is any, turn up my mic. Yeah, it sounds low. I was having that issue earlier. Let me try something here. Test. Let's see. Test. Oh, is that any better? Let's see how. Test, test. Let me know if that's better. I'll try to enunciate. It's a little better. See, that's the other thing. Need to try to. Let's see. There we are. A little better. What's going on here? Come on, microphone. Work. It is better. We're good here. Now I sound like I'm in a cave. And so I've seen, and you've been waiting for this all day, and I sound like I'm in a cave. Hi, Dr. Evils. Let's see. Let me try this again here. So we'll go here. Why is the audio having an issue with this mic? Okay. Clickety click. Let's see. Let's see. That one's all the way up. That's all the way up. Check, check, check. Check, check, check. Nothing. Let's see. How about here? How about now? A little better? Come on. Ooh. What's that? Did that work? Or is that just... Come on. Microphone go hotter. Does that help? Check, check, check. Tell me if that's better. More cowbell is what we need. We're all good now? Okay. So if we're good now, I'll try not to yell, but I'll talk. I'll try to enunciate. So, and I am glad to be here again too, because as you all know, there's one reason why I'm here, and well, God put it in my heart to be here and talk to you. But the other reason is this:
I got nowhere else to go. I got nowhere else to go.
Okay, so hopefully that solves the microphone issues. Okay, where were we? It could be a teeny louder. Well, I don't know. I'm trying to adjust it, but I think that's the best I can do on this. So, maybe move it closer. That's about as close as I can get to it. Hello. So, okay, where were we? We were talking. I was just thanking everybody for the support because it goes back into the show. And there's one thing that I'm looking to buy. I know I need to put it to 11. You're right, because that's one better than 10 exactly. What is that? What's that show? Shoot, Spinal Tap. Yes. There is one thing I'm going to splurge on. They weren't expensive. There's the little what do you call it? Incredible Hulk fist that I could put on my cat Sarah. So I'm going to splurge on my donation money tonight, and I'm going to get that, and then I'll shoot some video of her wearing it before she scratches my face off. So that's the plan anyways. We'll see how well it works. So, okay, well, let's see. So thank you, everyone, and also the people that just write me emails and stuff. And if you do enjoy this show, if you could hit that like button, share it, subscribe it, all those things, help out the algorithm. So, okay, let's see. Here we go. Let's see. Let's see if I can show you this here real quick. Yeah, okay, it's that. I'll show you real quick. It's where are you guys? You're here. Clickety click. I don't know. I saw this advertisement. I just have to get this on Sarah. Aren't these great? So hopefully I'll get that on Sarah and get some video of her soon. So stay tuned for that. Cat abuse. Okay. So I can't get enough of this Odyssey debacle. And then, of course, I saw this, and it was perfect. It's the synopsis, the spoiler of the Odyssey. Okay, it goes like this. Jason Bourne has been lost a year at sea for years. His wife, Catwoman, is desolate and is being coveted by Batman. Bourne's son, Spider-Man, went to look for his father with the help of the Punisher. And they forgot there's another one that said, and MJ helps him find a way back home. So there you go. So that's the Odyssey in Marvel DC world, basically. Because I don't know, I have not watched the movie, but I've seen enough of the clips that they just speak in their own language, English. They don't even act like they're trying to be the characters from a Greek Odyssey. Anyways, enough of the Odyssey because we got a lot to do tonight. And so let's see. We'll go with, let's see, clickety click. And of course, the other big news is Taco Bell was causing a lot of people to get explosive diarrhea. What a horrible two words to put together. You never want to put those two words together, honestly. And I would like it if one of the Taco Bells actually had the stones to write this, but they wrote, "Stop acting like you've never gotten explosive diarrhea here before." Who called the news? So there's that. I think that's a fake picture, but who knows what's fake anymore. And then in 1998, we were told not to get in a car with strangers. In fact, all the way back to when I was a child. And now, like that. Hunting coverage, and they said runs for the border. I like it. I want to hear the Taco Bell when you say that. That's funny. Where do I have? I got to get that one. There you go. Don't get in the car with strangers. 2008, don't meet people from the internet alone. And currently, the Uber is you order yourself a stranger from the internet and you get into the car to be alone with them. So, yeah, things have changed. The more they change, the more they stay the same. Isn't that how that goes? I've covered that, Trey. 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are? Yeah, that's a hoot. Our parents had to be reminded that they had children. At 10 o'clock. I mean, at 10 o'clock, it's getting a little late to remind them, don't you think? Just saying. So. Coffee keeps this show going. And this, I just wanted to share because I haven't tried this yet, but I think it's a beautiful way of getting a wonderful picture of your dog, being very attentive to the photo. So I thought I'd share this little nugget of information and do as it which you will. Okay, so there's that. And this one. So there's a new action movie, live action, I guess, of the one that nobody was looking for anyways. That, what is that, Moana? And, of course, The Rock plays this creature in the movie, and now there's in the cartoon, and now there's a live action, and they had this touring around, I guess, this caricature, and when I saw this thing turn around, it triggered a childhood trauma because I didn't realize at the time, they call me now, I was a latchkey kid. My folks both had, they worked at a store. And so I came home from school and had a lot of extra time on my hands. And so I watched all kinds of TV and movies. And that's how I got a lot of this weird, stupid trivia in my head. And there was one thing that I saw, and I remember this when I was, it said it came out in 75. So that would have put me at 9 at that point. And there's a movie came out, and they would show it on regular television. And then they would repeat it during the day, like after school and stuff. So I don't know if I saw it when it first came out, but I know I saw it within the next few years. So somewhere around by age 11. And there's this lady in it. Her name's Karen Black. And this is all I ever think about when I think of her name. Was she was in this movie. It was a TV movie called Trilogy of Terror. And in it, if you know what I'm talking about, I didn't even let me stop this here. I didn't even get the Google page pictures up until just now. I'm going to do it because I don't like them. It's a traumatic thing for me, and to this day, I still have issues with it. But here, I'll bring it up now for you all, and it's called Trilogy of Terror Doll. And see, you guys and gals, were the new generation was brought up on what's his name, Chucky, right? And I never watched those, but I honestly never found that very scary looking, that doll. But come on, where is the picture? Go forward. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, I rebuke this in the name of Jesus. I just hate having this on my screen. Okay, so we'll go back to this. We'll bring this up here. Okay. So when I saw this thing, with the necklace and the smile or whatever, it immediately triggered this doll from the Trilogy of Terror, which, you know, it has the same kind of thing on its skirt. It's got the necklace. It's got the smile. And this thing was absolutely horrifying, terrifying. I still, like I said, I don't like looking at it. And this thing terrorized Karen Black. And if you haven't seen it, you can find it on YouTube, but I recommend you don't watch it anyways, because it's extremely demonic, whatever this is. I rebuke this. But isn't that something that, I don't know, there's a lot of similarities. So just saying, careful what your kids are watching. So there. All right, enough of that. Get rid of that. Good. Okay, what's this? Now, I've talked about this, what's his name? Palm Beach Pete, who looks exactly like Epstein, and he's now running for like office. And regardless if he is or not, the fact that we're even like, this is in our mindset is just shocking to me. And so, did you know? Apparently, I mean, I looked into this. He's buying the old house. It's got music.
Beach Pete. And when I went on state, because I usually went on state, I'm going to buy this beautiful townhouse in New York City.
So it's got the Halloween music, so we won't play it. But yeah, so it's been sold, and supposedly he bought it, and he's got videos of himself there walking around in the kitchen, and he has at least twice of himself eating pizza. I mean, at this point, are we just being mocked? Because I've said this before. Since I've done this for so long, I've gone through the whole thing. I started, I found the cute people, and I hung out with them for a while, and I realized they're going nowhere, and that's a psyop. But they taught you a lot of these hidden codes that allegedly are still used. I mean, you can look them up. There's CIA documents that tell you this is what these things mean, and there's all the emails. Da, 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 da. Nobody goes to jail. No one's ever going to go to jail. They don't arrest each other. It's when I say it's everyone. Where is he? And it's all of them. I can't find him. It's everyone. Everyone! So they're putting this out there. And I guess just to make people fight and irritate each other. I don't know. But they don't arrest each other. They don't go to jail. You can go back on my channel and find the video. I don't think I'll have time tonight to play it. It's called Soap 2, where I went over all of this. And it's got to be like, I don't know, 4 years ago or better. I don't even know anymore. And it's the same people. They're still discussing who's going to jail. So, and then if you really want to think that we live in a complete made-up matrix, how about this little nugget? You all ready for this? Everyone get your pen and pencils out. Check this out. So you go into Google and you type into Google Translate. And you get this screen. All right? Everybody with me so far, as they say? So if you take that screen and you type in that guy's name, Epstein. Okay? Are you with me? As the Eagles say. Not the Eagles. Eagles. They lost their the. Epstein. Type in his name backwards now. So that, are you ready for this? We need a drum roll. Where's my drum roll? Oh, thanks, hon. I just have this one. That's not a drum roll. So, but here we go. Now you take his name and you write it backwards. Nietspe. Okay. Anybody in the chat want to comment on that? Anyone? Bueller? I mean, this is a joke, right? It's ridiculous. I don't know. So there you go. Yeah, they're trolling us. Korean Ann. Yeah, they're trolling us. But yeah, try it yourself, and it'll happen. It's pretty wild. Pretty wild. All right. So let's see. So we'll get out of that because that's enough of that. And oh, we got that one. I have that one. I can't use that one because it's got copyrighted music. So let's see. Let's stop that. We'll go out here. I can fix that. I can fix that right now. Let's see how things are on the streets. And when I was growing up, there was a whole series of cop movies, comedies, called Police Academy. And they were ridiculous because the people that they had in there were too tall, they were psychotic, or they were tiny women with they can't even talk, and they were, and it was a joke. It was an over-the-top joke because they couldn't get normal people, or whatever you want to say, to be cops anymore. And so they lowered their standards. Well, that couldn't possibly happen today. Let's see what's happening on the streets of New York. Now look, I'm into body shape, not into body shaping, but here's what I have to say. There has to be some standards for police officers that are on the streets, because this person that's closest to the camera has two options, because she's not chasing you, she's not capturing you, she's either tasing you or shooting you, and you hope that she figures out which is which. But yeah. So when does reality become the same as the movies? They've always been the same, apparently. Okay, we had another video there. What's that one? Let me look. As long as we're on that video. Oh, this one was pretty good. I like this one.
And this on-ramp, there's no signs blocking it off, and I thought I was f***ing high. That's just a pit on the on-ramp. They don't have this shit blocked off or nothing. Watch, this guy's coming. There's a guy coming behind me. Yeah. Oh, is he gonna go? Holy shit. Oh, it's water. I am high.
Oh my goodness. Oh jeez. Where's my guy? Oh shoot. Okay. Let's see. What's next? Okay, let's go back up in these tabs here and see what we got. Oh, you all like that one? That's a pretty good one, huh? Oh, you want to see that again? I think we can do that. That was you 10 years ago? Oh, shoot. Let's see. Where are we at? Me? Oh, how dare you? Okay, let's see. Here we go.
And in this on-ramp, there's no signs blocking it off, and I thought I was f***ing high. That's just a pit on the on-ramp. They don't have this shit blocked off or nothing. Watch, this guy's coming. There's a guy coming behind me. Yeah. Oh, is he gonna go? Holy shit. Oh, it's water. I am high.
It's fantastic. It really is. Oh, it's too much. Is that why that's why you don't drive down? Oh shoot. Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, it was a terrible place for a pit. Oh, thank you. Hey Jeannie, we got a new member. Enjoy your movies. Thank you. God bless you. So yeah, right. I thought it was a hole too. I mean, he had me going. Well, some people have better discernment, I guess. I didn't see it that way. Toaster oven questions. So, but yeah, okay. Where should we go back down here? Where are we at here? Let's see. Oh, good. You just made it to see that. Oh, wonderful. Yeah, it was a mirage. So, yeah. Anyways. Okay. Where are we at? Let's take that away. So we got that one. I think did we get all the ones there? Let me look. I want to make sure. Well, that we could show later. I'll show that one later. All right, we'll come back to that. Let's finish the news and this one. So I thought I finished all the Odyssey news, but so now Elon Musk has said that by the end of the year, he's going to make a full-length movie of the Odyssey. And the thing is it's interesting where we go from, and I've showed this, other people have too, but I showed it a few shows back, where they had the Will Smith like drinking or eating something, and his hand was morphing into the food or the drink he was doing. And now we've come just in a short period of time to full-on movies that'll be made by AI, no actors involved.
I must go.
The sea will take you from me.
I will return. I left my one love. An oath called me.
And I don't know if he's copyrighted this or not, but I mean, it's amazing how far he goes with this thing. And none of these are actors. They're all just computer-generated people. You know, they're even sweaty and, yeah, anyways. So we'll see. We'll see where we are in a year. It's pretty fascinating how quickly. Well, if you watch my song about Elon, I have this children. He's had more since then. So you mean I need to update the song? Oh. 14? Shoot, how many does my song have? My song only has 9 in it? Let me see. Yikes. Let's see. Where is it? Well, I could do this later, but if you want to hear, I also have an amazing singing voice. And so if you scroll down through some of these, maybe I already missed it. Here it is. His name is Elon. I would play it for you right now, but I get a copyright strike, and all the money that I make goes to Elton John. So, but yeah, I think at the time he had 9. So I need to update my song, Jeannie. And I'll see more views. It's only 800 views. Come on, people. How could that only be 800 views? What's the matter with you all? Okay, so going back to this. So, okay, we covered that. It's enough of that. But AI now is, there's a movie that I've talked about before that most people don't even know about. It's called Looker. It's from the 80s. And they talked about this technology back then where they would take a woman and they would scan her, and then they would create their own commercials and stuff and never need her again. And so look what's happening on the internet right now.
If you're a woman on social media, there's a chance you've been cloned by AI.
Hi, yeah, so that's my video, and that is not the shirt that I am wearing in the video. That is AI.
She's not the only one.
I didn't know I had an AI twin until today, but a friend of mine sent me an AI-generated ad today for fashion, and something about it felt very, very familiar.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
Okay, this gal plays copyrighted music, but she has, this is how she actually did it, and then this is the AI that was created, or the other way around, I don't know. But same thing. So AI created this instead of her, and has 40,000 likes on it. How about this lady?
Are you still using traditional heavy coloring tools?
Imagine being on the internet and seeing one of these ads for one of these games, the app games, and it's your face.
Try this game. This game has no levels.
They
no
put
enemies,
a mouth on
but
me.
I open it every single day. No pressure, no winning or losing, just spending time completing myself. Peace doesn't come from winning, it comes from filling. You don't need to win, just relax until your soul shines. Tap now to begin.
This is terrifying.
There are thousands of women a day that are being cloned by retailers, influencers, and large corporations to sell products. And guess what? It's totally legal. A non-exclusive, transferable, sub-licensable, royalty-free, and worldwide license to host, use, distribute, modify, run, copy, publicly perform, or display all your uploads. And that's just from Meta. The moment you sign up for any social media, you immediately give them permission to use your post in any way they wish. Sell your data, use your image, your voice, your likeness.
30 people reported an AI.
So this is what's happening. And I mean, I know I'm already screwed because I have so much property of my voice in these shows and stuff out there, but isn't that something? Yeah. And you're right. It's in the terms of service, slow burn. Because that's the only way you can use any of these things. And when you get an iPhone and it does its update and it has like 10,000 words, who actually reads it? You just said, no, I want to use my phone, and you hit go. And so they have you legally. So, I don't know. It's getting really wild and interesting in the internet. So it's, yeah, I believe Enjo movies. This is just the beginning. Absolutely. All right. What's next? And the thing is, as they call it, AI slop happens everywhere. So if you're not following along to this news story, I mean, why would you? But in any case, there are these two brothers. They're called the Tate brothers. And they're just basically famous for being famous, I think. And they have, together, I think like, I don't know, they said worth $50 million or something ridiculous. I don't know. But they just got up on charges for trafficking, amongst other things, and a certain type of fruit, grapes, I think. And they posted this video of them getting arrested. The problem is, people have picked out a couple of things. I don't know if you saw it there, but if you look right here, see the guy that's walking in on stage right? There he goes. That guy vanishes. And in addition to that, if you're looking at the feet down here, one of Tate's feet disappears, I believe. Yeah. So, and you can maybe make the argument there's compression or something down there. But no, this guy just disappears. So even when you're looking at, quote, news stories, it's not real. We don't know what is real anymore when they come off of these screens. And our whole existence now seems to be dependent on these things. So if and when they ever want to do the alien invasion, it'd be so easy to do because people are going to be using these screens. So this is part of the show where I'm just letting you know, be leery of everything that you're repeating and regurgitating to see if there really is. Oh, yeah, here, see, they show his shoes disappear. So you can maybe say, well, okay, well, that's compression of the video. But the guy vanishing isn't. He's just not there. And I've got a whole episode I did on holograms years ago. It's still on my channel that you can show Biden's head disappearing and Mark Zuckerberg's head disappearing. And so there you go. All right. We're heading to the Mandela effect. We're almost there. What do we have next? I just had to, whatever you think of Elon Musk, love him or hate him, he really smoked in this interview right here. He just did a thing with The Economist, which I haven't gone through the whole interview yet. But, and I know it's all show. I get it. But this was really funny. And when I like to play things I think are funny.
Why people loathe you? I mean, some people do loathe you.
Yes, some people do.
But do you understand why? Do you think what you're doing is helpful for Western democracy?
Maybe some people do loathe me. And that's probably true. I don't care. But the fact that, as you pointed out, 250 million people follow me is that I think a lot more people actually like me than don't. And I think a lot more people hate you and the media more than you realize.
So, love him or hate him, I thought that was pretty funny. But then, of course, he says this terrifying stuff. AI will exceed the sum of all human intelligence in 5 years. Humans will no longer be in control in 10 years, and then they'll be in an age of amazing abundance, which I don't even know what that is. All that seems to be terrifying. But that's why this show's based in faith, and that God says more than anything, fear nothing. And the fear of the Lord is where knowledge starts. And after that, he's got your back. Don't get caught up in all these things. Don't worry about these things. And that's how the Mandela effect will tie into in a second here. And then finally, we'll cover that one later. Let's see, I think we've got all this. Here, we'll stop this for a second. Well, I'll show you. Because you know what? You think you like an actor or an actress, but when I say it's everyone, it's everyone. So here you got Matthew Perry that everybody loved on Friends, and he does this interview, and he says that for 3 weeks, where is it? He said he prayed for fame, and he asked God to make him famous, and then said, "You can do anything you want to me." And then 3 weeks later, he got Friends. And then he says, God didn't forget about the second part, alcoholism. And it didn't care, and it wanted me alone and sick and wants to kill you. And so the best thing, he basically says, he's blaming God for his alcoholism and then his death. I mean, allegedly is how he died, I guess, bathtub thing or something. But that's not, what God is he talking about? Because that's not God that I pray to. That's the God of this world that you can pray and sell your soul, get fame and fortune. But there's a contract to it. And so he gave the devil permission to do this to him. And so he did. This has nothing to do with the loving, living God of this earth. So I pray that he found God for real right before the end. But who knows and who knows if these characters die off or if they just play a different one. There's a lot of discussion on that too. But again, read the book of Job. The one thing that happened to Job, he lost everything. And then what did he do? He never blamed God. And finally, the other people that show up there, God tells him, you better hope that Job prays for you, because otherwise it's no bueno. So, all right, that's enough of that. Have no false idols. Hollywood is full of them, and don't do it. Okay. That's my service announcement there. Okay. Now let's see if I can split this up. Now let's get into this Mandela talk. I hit the wrong button, but that works anyways. I wanted this one. Transition. Okay. So, there has been a lot of discussion over the years with the Mandela effect. And it seems like it goes in a cycle where people discuss it and then goes away for a while. In my awakening process, that, like I said, started about 10 years ago. I think it was 2017. In my awakening process, for me, it started with finding out that the TV, the news, lies to me. I went through this thing where I finally had, my wife and I both had time off from work since we were like 13 years old. And we spent time, and I was watching different videos and things. And I watched some stuff live that I never get to used to watch live. And it started with Trump visiting the koi pond fish in front of the Forbidden City, which sounds like it's from the Planet of the Apes. But in any case, and the president, where's that? China, I think. And he feeds some fish, and then Trump feeds some fish, and then they both do it. And then he empties his box, and Trump empties his box, and they wave and they leave. And I thought, that's nice. Well, that night on the news, they comment on it, and they say that look how horrible, baby, impatient your president is. And they show the president of China scooping and feeding the fish, and they show Trump dumping his box. And they edit it that way. I said to my wife, that's not what happened. And that was the beginning of me going, wow, I'm being lied to. And then, of course, I came across a gentleman that he's gone back to the private sector because like I said, I have not seen it yet. Someone that can successfully make money on YouTube and not burn out. I've seen people that were successful but eventually burned out. And sometimes the audience burns out. I mean, there's only so much content that you can produce that's, kind of similar ground. Yes, you'll constantly get new people in, but it's a lot of work to do that. And then what was that one guy? What's that? Static in the Attic, right, Ronnie? Is that him? Where he had a ton of content and he was doing well. He even said he was paying his mortgage and stuff with it. And then they decided to demonetize him overnight. And so they can take away your money like that immediately. So that's why a lot of content creators have partnered with companies and things to try to generate revenue. And I understand. I mean, if you've sunk a full-time job into it, God bless you if you can do it and not burn out. And so most of the channels that I kind of grew up with, they're all gone. But the one that was the most influential, I would say, at least in the beginning process of my awakening, was a gentleman called Brian Stavely. And he's gone back to the private sector because he couldn't earn a living. And he also gets frustrated because people stop watching or stop listening, and then they... it really is. It can be a very frustrating thing. And when I'm talking about people that are say denying the Mandela and stuff, it's not the viewers. I'm talking about the content creators that they kind of flip flop on things. And so one of the things God says is if you're going to stand up and do some kind of platform preach or whatever, you better make sure that you're doing it correctly, because he's going to hold you accountable to whatever it is that you're saying. And so he gives you a pass if you're deceived and don't know it. But then again, there's some people that either they're deceiving themselves or they're doing it on purpose. But it's a territory that I want to make sure that I'm always clear that I just present the evidence that I see and my thoughts and what I feel, rather than just telling you this is the absolute truth. Because, like I said, at the end of the day, I'm just, I'm learning. The dollar, I didn't see that one. And God bless you, Trish. You do so much too here. And look at this one. This is Jesus said that whoever denies him before others, he will also die. Yeah, that to me, that's thank you very much. God bless you, Dale. That is, I've said this before, the scariest part for me in the book is that when you go up to Jesus and he goes, "Who are you? I don't know you. Go away." I mean, that'd put fear in you more than anything. I wouldn't worry about scary space news or anything. I'd worry about that. But and thank you for the donation. So Sarah's getting her Hulk arms tonight, Jeannie. I'm telling you. Yeah, get those going. But where are we at here? Took myself right out of it. Let's see. Oh, I was talking about Brian. Okay. So what happened with me is the first thing that I found was the Mandela effect. And I've described it before that is like Wile E. Coyote when he runs off the cliff and he looks down and there's nothing there and then he falls. And the first time that I came across the Mandela effect, that's how I felt. In fact, I spent basically 3 days trying to figure it out. And here's my conclusion. I wanted to know what's happening. How's it happening? Who's doing it and why? And here's my conclusion. In this lifetime, the odds are we'll never know who's doing it, how they're doing it, and why. We can speculate all we want. Read the book of Job. But here's my takeaway. Why is it happening? Well, everything is under God's control. So God is allowing these things to happen. And I believe he's allowing these things to happen to let us know the times that we're in. So to me, that's how one of the proofs that I use to prove the little season.
Pizza.
Because it talks about it. It's Amos 8. I think it's 8:11. Let me look. Amos, I've looked it up so many times now. Amos 8:11. Yeah, it filled it in for me. I look up so many times. And here we go. So we'll go clickety-click here. Whoops. Not that button. I'll get there.
Clickety-click.
Let's see. There it is. Okay. Clickety-click here. Amos 8:11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord God, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. And look, I've done this enough that I know the argument that comes with that. Oh, he's just talking about nobody's preaching it. Fine, you can twist things and make it whatever you want. But if you take it at its actual words right there, it says that you'll look for the word and not find it. And to me, that is a description of what's happening with this scrambling and the Mandela effect. No, I don't believe God is changing but I do believe, just like he did with Job, he's allowing the devil, whatever, to mess with these things because he has control in these times of time. And he's allowed to do these kind of things. There's passages that kind of prove all that. You can read through them. But what I believe is he's allowing these things to happen to wake us up, to tell us the times that we're in. Because it's a spiritual battle. And it's not something that we can fight on the level that we're used to understanding what reality is. And if reality can change on a molecular level that we don't get, it's very terrifying. And so what you have to do is you have to allow yourself to accept that miracles can happen. If you do read the Bible, if you believe in the Bible, or at least the stories of some of them, if you're a Christian or you're a follower of Christ, you have to believe that miracles happened. So why can miracles in that stage happen in the past, but we're supposed to believe that they can't happen anymore? And I'm not calling the changes a miracle. I'm saying it's a molecular change similar to things that we don't understand. And when people saw staffs turn into snakes, you know, and there's so many things that happen in the Bible, and Jesus turned the water into wine and stuff. Why can't we believe that things can change and Curious George can no longer have a tail and things like that? Like, God made sure that it happened across the board. It's in movies, it's in TV, it's in cartoons, it's in books, it's in music, and it's outside in nature. You can see things changing in your own area. And then, of course, the scriptures are changing. It's undeniable evidence in my mind, and we'll go over some of that. And I've been called a lot of names in the past because of these thinkings, these feelings, these ideas I have. See, I've done this so long. I played around. I was with the Flat Earth group for a while, and then I didn't like where that was going because they didn't want to talk about God, and they just got stuck on Flat Earth, and I don't believe in that. I believe in biblical Earth. And then I was, I hung out with, we had the Belt people for a while. I had the Christians. I was in all these different groups, but nobody thinks the way that I do. I only agree with myself and my wife, of course. But so because of that, I've sort of been bounced around in different groups. But at the end of the day, I always end up just kind of being me out here on my own. And that's fine. That's where God wants me, and I'll stick it out here. Because, the little seasoned people, that's I lost. Not that that's the interesting thing. The Christian friends that I did shows with, because here's the thing on the Mandela effect. Back in the day, there was really only a few channels that were even discussing the Mandela effect, let alone the Bible changes. So, of course, like I said, you got Brian Staveley's channel. Then you had, John Kerwin's still doing it. I don't know if he's here tonight, but he's been posting videos on this subject lately too. And we did a few shows together. Wake Up or Else is his channel. And then there was Jesus Freak Computer Geek. He's still doing shows, not as many. He's got other issues that he's fired up on, AI and things like that, flock cameras and all those. Then there's the Airborne Saint, who was Awakened Saint, but he's moved completely over to Rumble. So there's really no presence here on YouTube. And the other guy was Photo Helix, and he passed away. And so that's just me. And, when Brian was doing this, after a while, he became the Mandela guy. And when I started looking into the Mandela effect, I came across a video of his before I even knew who he was, where he was talking about how the continents had shifted. And that one really kind of freaked me out. And so I checked on his channel, and I saw he had other videos. And then, of course, his information on 9/11 and basically the fake news was mind blowing. And so he was a huge part of my awakening. You're right, Dale. There's also money bags. And what's interesting is he commented on something I wrote because he was live. And when I knew him, I remember him Moneybag 76. And now he's Moneybag 73. So even his name got changed. So that was an interesting one. And then there was remember, Need Input. And that guy went to Japan. So, yeah. But there's very few people left that are talking about this. And so I don't normally spend a whole lot of time on this. I just play around with it here and there. And I've done many shows about it. And so here, I'll show you. You can still find Brian on Rumble. His show is called Dose of Reality. And he's got a lot of Mandela effect. He's got 35 pages of videos. And a lot of them deal with Mandela. Oh, here's our show we did. See, there's one of them. We did so many shows together. And for a while there, I was kind of one of the rotations of people that talked about Bible changes. And so you can still find him on Rumble. And like I said, Airborne Saint's on there too. I think this is his channel here, Awakened Saint. And so he's another one that talks about these things. But it's really gotten to the point where there hasn't been much of a presence on YouTube of people talking about the Mandela effect. And it is a very important thing. And in fact, I know Brian got burnt out because that was all he ended up doing. When he started with the fake news and all that stuff, and then the what do you call it, the COVID years and stuff. Then he branched out and just did only like Mandela effect. In fact, that's when I started my channel. I had let's see, where is it? Let me grab that. It's this one. Let's see, my channel, videos, and we'll go oldest. Okay. So in fact, if you look at my channel, that's how I started it. Was this thing about Judge Judy and her gavel and C3PO. I Love Lucy has never said. Ricky Ricardo, who's now Desi Arnaz, has never said Lucy got some splaining to do. The Goodnight Gracie never happened. She just says goodnight. She no longer says goodnight Gracie. Silence of the Lamb, he doesn't say hello Clarice. My highest viewed video is this one here, 65,000 views. Timmy actually never fell down the well in Lassie. Even though, where is it?
You sure you weren't just high on?
Let's see. Even though the guy that wrote, that played the kid, where is he? Somewhere here. I'll have to find it. There we go. Yeah, John Provost. He wrote his book. He titled it "Timmy's in the Well." So the guy that played the character in the show still remembers Timmy falling in the well, and that's never happened. So yeah, that was 65,000 views 6 years ago. So that's what's going on there. So I had a lot of those on the Mandela effect. There's the soap one. So, okay, enough of that. So now, as far as the whole thing with CERN, I'm glad you brought that up. It's shocking to me, too, that content creators will tell you exactly what's happening at CERN, and they have no idea, because you're going to take the information from the company that's mocking you. Like, you look at the video when they open up the Hadron Collider, whatever you want to call that, where the guy's holding out the Mandela effect signs and stuff. They're mocking us. The actual thing, whatever's going on there, they did a satanic ritual, and you can still find it. I don't show it on here anymore because it just makes me ill. There's like a goat man coming out of a bunch of eyeballs and birthing an antichrist creature, and none of it looks scientific to what they're saying. And then there's a giant statue of Shiva, the destroyer, and then they had a whole other ritual they did out on ice and stuff. None of it looks scientific. All of it looks ritualistic. Now, could they be smashing all whatever atoms? I don't know, but neither does anyone, because anybody that's high enough to actually work there is not going to be on these channels telling you the truth. So all we can do is imagine what they say is truth. And there's a lot of people that are now going on there going, oh, they've turned it off. Did you notice time has changed? And look, they turn that thing on and off all the time. I don't even know if they're doing what they're saying they're doing, because there's really no evidence of it. I mean, Homer Simpson came up with the Boss-Higgs, whatever, the God particle. I mean, I just showed you if you type in Epstein's name backwards, it says he didn't kill himself. I mean, we live in such a weird matrix that it's really hard to believe anything that comes across these screens. And so could they be doing dark magic and opening portals and summoning like demonic entities and stuff? That I believe. I mean, just look at, was it Babylon Rising? It was Jack Parsons and Aleister Crowley, and they went to the desert. They opened a portal, and it scared the heck out of Jack, and he took off. And they drew pictures of what creatures came out of there. I don't know. Something happened in 2012 in the Mayan calendar, which no longer is Mayan, it's Maya. There's no N on the Mayan calendar or the people anymore. That one freaked me out when I discovered that one, because I was doing research on the Mayan calendar and they no longer have an N. But in any case, I digress. That thing ends in 2012. Now, I don't think the world ended in 2012. But I think somehow our timeline got messed up, or whatever they want to say in the Marvel movies. But something happened, and some of these Mandela effects, they go all the way back to the beginning of whatever. But we just notice them at certain points. And the other weird thing about it is they hit people at different times. Somebody that might discuss, hey, just saw a Mandela effect. Someone else says, oh, yeah, I did a video on that 5 years ago or something. So, and I agree, it is so weird it hurts your head. But the reason that we have to discuss these things is I need people, or at least I feel that people need to know that something is happening and we can't ignore it. Because I'm supposed to speak for God. I'm supposed to speak out for the church, the body of Christ. And I'm supposed to let people know and ring the bell and say, hey, there's something happening. And if I ignore it or if I deny it, then I'm not serving my flock. Whereas I've had multiple conversations on this. The most famous one that I actually did a video on, where is it? Let's see. Get rid of that. Not that. Yeah. Let's see. I went on a show, again, another show that's no longer on the air, at least not in the way it used to be, was the Midnight Ride. Right? With, where is he? With John Pounders and the Hat Man. Now You See TV. And I had him on, did an interview with him, and I had a really nice time with him. And this was 3 years ago. And you can still find this. It's on his channel. And you can find my rebuttal, too. It's on my channel called The Morning After Ride. Because this was the Midnight Ride. And we had a nice conversation. And then they did this video, and if you go towards the end here, it's like, what is it, an hour and 20 minutes or so, right around here. They start discussing the Mandela effect and the Bible changes, and he says, he doesn't name me, but he says he was on a show. And in his defense, he doesn't say anything nasty or bad about me. However, Hatman, of course, says it's demonic, and so he kind of joins in with that, saying that talking about this and how things can change drew people away from the Bible and made them stop reading it. Now, maybe they know somebody that happened. I don't know. But that's not my concern. In fact, it's the opposite. I've been telling people for years, it's changing and you need to get your nose in the book now before it gets completely illegible. When you look for the word of God and you won't see it, you won't find it. And then I did my response, because one of the things they said was, at the time, I'd only been reading the Bible for a few years. And they mocked me that I could, say I know what I'm talking about after only reading the Bible for a few years. Well, here's the problem. I'm finding people that that are scholars and believe that they've read it for decades, they now like put themselves on a pedestal, like they know what they're talking about, and they just kind of just dismiss any other idea, or they actually call it demonic, which is a dangerous thing to do, I feel, because you're just denying these changes. This is my book from the 1800s. And the reason that I take umbrage to this, the fact that they were like, oh, he's only read it for a few years.
Amazing.
I was reading it every single day, and I finished it all the way through, and I started it up again. So no, I was studying the Bible, and what I was noticing was things were changing in real time. This is an incredible book. I have it here, and I'll show it to you, but you're welcome to go and find this video on my channel that shows you the same things I'm going to cover tonight. And that when you get into this book, oh, hi, kitty. I just saw a cat, honey.
I don't even know what song everyone keeps talking about.
Let's see. Where is it? Where is it? Okay. And what's interesting in this book, I have this Lord's Prayer passage. I have it 3 different ways. And yes, Allison, I did get it. I'll show you that in a second. I have it 3 different ways in the same book. So now somebody took the time to create this painting, lithograph, whatever they call these, that they then copied and put into this book. And in it, it has the Lord's Prayer the way I know it and remember it, and the way I read it. When I read it the first time through, that's what I'm saying. I understand. It has something to do with our eyes awakening. Like God says he removes the scales and we can see things like the they live glasses. So the first time I read it through and I saw trespasses. But at some point, I read it through and it says debts and debtors. And the thing is this person here, they have it. Forgive us our trespasses.
So for those of you that say,
okay, so it's got forgive us our trespasses. And then, let's see, it also has in the same book, let's see, I'll turn the volume.
Wrote trespasses when he should have wrote debts. How do I know that? Let's continue. Look at this page. Here's a different artist that drew the Lord's Prayer. Our Father who art in heaven.
What's that, honey? Is blurry? You know what? I have it. Let's do this. I have the pictures. We'll do that. You're right, hon. Oh, well, they're right, too.
That's very true.
All right. Let me pull up the pictures. Clickety click. Okay. That, I think, hopefully you'll be able to see. Let's see. Can we make that larger? No. All right, let's try a different way. Let's go into it. Let's see. Remove that. Let's go into it. Wake up down there. I think that's still the same. I'm going to make this larger. All right, let's try it a different way. Let's go here. Go. Oh, I know. Go this way. You gonna sing? Careful what you say. I might take you up on it. Okay. Let's see. So go here, and we'll present it this way. Okay. How about that? Is that larger? Is it showing up? Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So it's got a lot of great drawings in it. Let me go forward here. This is the book. It's the Bible that was given to me. It's from the 1800s, 1880. And I've talked about this before. There are no coincidences. The gentleman that owned this Bible, his name was Richard. And it had a thing inside his wife had passed away, and it talked about how they were going to have a service for her, and the date of the service they were having is my birthday. So, I mean, back then, but the right month and day. So that was pretty wild. So going forward with this, so you can stop it. She's laughing down there. Okay, going forward, this page here. This side is the actual scripture of Matthew. And this side, there's a rice paper here, is this other photo image that we're going to look at. And so when you look at this, is that better, hon? Oh, okay, you're in the past. You'll see in a second. There you go. That's good. So we got the Lord's Prayer, Our Father who art in heaven. Okay, and you move on down. Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. And this is pretty important. On earth as it is in heaven. Now, if you're to read the passage today, it says in earth. But I digress. So now you move on down. Give us this day our daily bread. And here's the, this is what we've been looking for. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Right? And then he finishes it out. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. And so that's in this book. And the very next page is the actual scripture, which is here. Let's see. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. See, in earth. So that's not the same. And then he goes in to give us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And what's interesting, too, is if you keep reading, he then connects back to trespasses the way, it should have been. If ye forgive men their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if ye forgive not men their trespasses, your Father will not, neither will your Father forgive your trespasses. So he talks about trespasses, except in this line where he says debts. And again, I know all the arguments. Well, if you translate the original Aramaic into Hebrew, and then from that into Spanish, and then Canadian, and then Russian, and whatever. I get it. There's different ways of saying this word. But what we're discussing is the KJV has always said trespasses. And you can't prove that wrong. It's always, now it says debts. And once again, none of us know how this works. So there's some people that will tell me, and I'll even say it probably in the comments, I've always known it as trespasses or debts. I get it. I can't explain it. I'm just showing you the evidence that's there. And it's not just myself that's saying it. In order to get something into TV or movies, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of money. And why would you do that and get it wrong? Where's my, shoot. I thought I had that one queued up. Let's look. Lords. I think it's this one. Let's see. Oh, we were watching this movie, or trying to, and then they came to this.
Who art in heaven.
Yeah?
Hallowed be thy name.
Right?
Thy kingdom come.
Right?
Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
Uh-oh.
Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us.
All right, that one's hard to hear, but where did that one video go where I put it all together? And it should be here. Because I had a whole series that I would play called Someone's Getting
Someone
Fired.
should get fired over this, right?
So, and thank you, Lacey, for being a member for 2 months. God bless you. So, thank you very much. Okay, let me see if I can find this again. Clickety click. We'll go here. Let's see. Well, we'll come back to that. That's fine. We'll grab another one of these. I got a bunch of them. But this one.
Heiße Papa am Himmel, geheiligt ist dein Reich soll kommen.
It's even in a different language.
Soll geschehen, wie am Himmel es auf der Erde. Gib uns von das tägliche Brot. Verzeih uns als Schuld.
Trespasses.
Wie wir auch denen verzeihen.
Trespasses. They always get it wrong. There isn't a single movie or TV that I've ever seen that they say debts. They might start soon, but for right now, they don't. And I thought I had a few more of those. That's right. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that. I saw the comment, how do they change old books? See, that's the thing. When it first happened, we were wondering that too. But you're thinking on a reality level that says that things can't change in a molecular structure. When you read the Bible and Jesus says that we'll be able to move mountains, and he moves mountains and he stops the sea by talking to it, and then you go to Neo and there is no spoon, like we're all connected. We're all using the same energy. We're supposedly just electrical charged atoms that are put together in this form. And so I can't explain to you how the book is changing on a molecular level. I can only observe it and comment on it. There's no one that'll be able to give you the answer of how is it happening, or is reality bending, right, Groot? I don't know. Oh, you're talking to someone in the chat. Well, that's okay. It's all right. I can be happy to go over with everyone. So, but yeah, timeline shifts. I mean, there's all kinds of things. Yes, it's our belief that limits us. Exactly. And what's up? But you know what that means? If you just showed up, that means you're late. So in this channel, you're only late, but make sure if you're tardy, you don't feel tardy.
I don't feel tardy. I don't feel tardy.
So there. And for the people looking for it, this is the only channel with a vomiting tiger. You're welcome. And a cat flying.
What the just happened?
You're welcome for that. Yes. So the Mandela effect. Let's go back into this. Where are we at here? Like, for instance, there's a lot of things that change, and maybe it's always been this way. But I'm just describing to you what I'm seeing, and I'm like, I'm not remembering this. Did y'all know that there's desert penguins? I didn't. There's always been desert penguins in this timeline, apparently. So that one was a new one for me. There's all kinds of animals that they just seem to pop up and change and stuff. I came across this guy. He's obviously brand new to it, freaking out. Check this one out.
Top 6 changes of animals in this timeline. Number 1, cow tipping. Cow tipping is not a thing. You cannot cow tip. There's no evidence of you can cow tip. Apparently, that is not a thing in this timeline. It's never been documented. It's not a thing. It changed in this timeline.
Now, I don't know if it's ever been a thing. I didn't grow up on a farm, but I don't know if there's ever anybody on a farm that knows about this, or maybe it's just an old wives' tale or something. But yeah. What do desert penguins eat? I don't know. Isn't that an interesting question? So, but yeah, so apparently cow tipping, I've heard of it. I don't know if it was actually a thing. They've done movies about it, but now apparently that's never happened. Keep going, because they get more interesting. He gets into horses, which I found interesting.
Number 2, horses can have mustaches. Yes, in this timeline, horses can have mustaches. Do
you all know that? Did you know that one, hon? We got to ask our daughter-in-law that's a horse gal. She'll probably say she's familiar with it, but I've never heard of this. Mustaches on a horse.
Sometimes they shave them off. It's a thing, but they do have mustaches. Also, horses do not have round eyes. They have horizontal eyes.
Did you know they had slit eyes? That. So.
They do not have round eyes in this timeline. Apparently, we all just misremembered that because in this timeline, they do not have round eyes. The bald eagle is America's national bird. When did it become the national?
Now, this one I know. This one freaked me out too. It just became the national bird like a year ago, right?
Bird. How about last year, December of 2024 to be exact? That is when it became official that the bald eagle was America's national bird.
Didn't they always teach you that in school? And then they talk about how, what's his name, the electricity guy, Ben Franklin, he wanted it as a turkey. But no, they chose the eagle. But apparently they never did until just last couple of years ago.
This timeline, there are Civil War camels. Yes.
Civil War camels? Not in my timeline. I covered a lot about the Civil War.
The camels fought in the Civil War. We have American camels, and they're here. They've been here since the Civil War, and there's actually famous ones in this time.
There's famous camels. There's old Douglas, was the patient camel of the 43rd Infantry, blah, blah, blah. And, yeah, so there you go. Civil War camels.
I'm not. I did not know that. Number 6, it is Smokey Bear. It is not Smokey the Bear. Apparently, it's always been Smokey Bear.
Okay, so he did that, and then I'll show you. I try to do things. It's hard to find the time to put it together, but I try to do things for members, and I created a video that I know I was going to show tonight. That is. I put it up for members only. They could watch it, but now we all get to watch it. So let me grab it here. And then, where'd it go? It's one of these. And then tonight after the show, if you want to view it, or even better, like, share, and subscribe and share it, that would be great, because it'd be nice if I would finally get a viral video, but we'll get there one day. Who knows? So, having said that, oops, let me bring this up. Clickety click. So, for the rest of the audience, it wasn't a member that got to see it early. It's my world premiere video.
A ceiling fan man, world premiere video.
All right. Let's see. Where are we at? Why is that working? Okay. Let's see. Clickety click. Here it
is. Smoky, or I should say Smokey. If you see a lot of smoke, and you want to say, wow, it's smoky in here, you have to spell it with no E. And if you thought there was an E, well, you're just stupid and bad speller, and you're mistaken and forgetful and old, and you misremembered. Because Smoky, like the room is smoky, has never had an E. Neither has the Great Smoky Mountains. I mean, Smoky. So the Great Smoky Mountains have never had an E. And if you remember it that way, or if you happen to live there or in that town near there, and you always thought that they were the Smoky Mountains with an E, you were incorrect. They're the Smoky Mountains. The only time you're allowed to use an E, I hope you're all writing this down, the only time you're allowed to use the E in Smoky, correctly anyways, is with Smokey the Bear, Smokey Bear, because even though he keeps the E, he loses the, and his suspenders. You're also allowed to write Smokey if you say Smokey and the Bandit, like this movie here, with Sally Field with no S, Sally Field. And the reason that there was a Smokey and the Bandit was the hat that the troopers wear reminded truckers of Smokey the Bear. Or Bear, Smokey Bear. No suspender, Smokey Bear. And that's why they used, oh wait, that guy's got it wrong. I don't think he's going to be selling this $54 thing if he thinks this is called Smokey the Bear and he's got red suspenders, because he's never had red suspenders. You're misremembering. They thought the hat that these guys wear was similar. And so that's where you get the word Smokey. Truckers would call these guys Smokies. And you use the E because you're referencing Smokey the Bear, Smokey Bear, no suspenders. That's who you're referencing when you say Smokey. Because if you want to talk about the Smoky Mountains, you have to take it out. Or if the room is full of smoke, you have to take it out. So I hope I've explained this enough to where people understand now how to properly spell the word Smokey. How about this? So Smokey the Bear, from what I understand, started like in the late 40s. And then by 1952, they got this guy, what's his name? Eddie Arnold. And he writes a song and sings it for the Forestry Service. It's called Smokey the Bear, featuring Eddie Arnold. And of course, every time he sings with the kids, I don't know the copyrights on this. Where is it? His song. It's called Smokey the Bear. Back in 1952, he had it wrong, right? Let's see.
Smokey the Bear, growling and a growling and a sniff in the air. He can...
Right? Smokey the Bear. I want to hear that again. Most replayed is 128, of course.
Smokey the Bear, growling and a sniff in the air.
So, yeah. So, Eddie Arnold, you got it wrong. And just saying.
Someone's getting fired, is what that was.
So, there you go. 2 Mandela effects in one show. My gosh. We're out of control tonight. Look at this. Here's a company that's been around for, I think, 10 years. And they wrote this article in 2022. Why is my fire so smoky? And they spelled it wrong. Because, see, they're a company, that's all they do is they sell you wood for specific, like, wood fire things and stuff. But, you know, they've been in business successfully for 10 years. And they let this get through? It's a little sus. It's a little sus. Where is that?
Someone should get fired over this, right?
Actually, no, I don't want anybody fired from this company, but come on, people. You got to see that you've spelled this wrong.
Satellite tracking continues.
And scene. Thank you, hon. Getting applause down there. So yeah, that little clip, it's like 4 minutes or so. You can play that. It'll be after the show. It'll be on my channel. So, but yeah, that as someone wrote in the chat, where is it? Where'd it go? Oh, new member, another new member. God bless you. Yay. Marcus said it. What a wild time to be alive. Because it really is. I mean, if you read the books of the Bible, there's a lot of war going on. And I know you could say there's wars going on here, but we're not in it, right? Like maybe hopefully none of your relatives, sons, daughters, whatever, friends are in it. But overall, we're not in it. Whereas like back then, it seemed like it was there all the time. And so we're in a timeline that things are changing, and it's interesting that people just want to ignore it. You guys don't want to see what is that? I'm having a serious Mandela discussion, people. Fine. How do you even know that I made any new what is that, girls? But I did. Let's see. We got Madonna. She's 73 on tour. Get your tickets now. I'm sorry, not Madonna. Cyndi Lauper on tour at 73. Get your tickets now.
What is that? What is that?
Satellite tracking continues.
That's enough, she says. I need to do a whole series of music ones, right? We got this one. All right, 2 for 1. You get one more. What is that?
Men only want one thing, and it's not money, it's not power, it's
mariachi metare!
What is that? What is that?
Satellite tracking continues.
So there you go. What do you think? You guys okay with that? Now we gotta go back to we gotta have this serious discussion, everyone. Y'all. So, okay, where are we at? Yeah, don't get me started on the Bruce Springsteen red bandana turned into a MAGA hat, right? You all know about that one? That was a cool one. Let's see. There's everyone that I know. Oh, if I'm going to say it, I might as well use them. Everybody I know when I was growing up, and when I say that, I mean, dang it, there he is. Everyone! I mean, that Bruce Springsteen album, Born in the USA. Let's see, Born in the USA. Let's see. Was that the... Yeah, here it is. And that's the other thing, the Mandela effect. It totally trolls us and does things like this, where it takes what I remember, and most that I, at least my generation, that saw this album cover, because Bruce was everywhere at that point. He had a red bandana sticking out of the back of his his back pocket. It's now a MAGA hat. Which is funny because I think he hates Trump, right? The internet just trolls us. The universe trolls us. So, yeah. That was a bandana. Moving on. It's enough of that. Where were we? Let's see. Oh, and while I was discussing that, we haven't gotten to the Bible changes completely. We started it. But this was sent in by Allison, who's in the chat. And she has a Bible that's kind of like the sister or the cousin or whatever to my Bible. It looks very similar cover. It's was given to someone else. But it starts with an R. I can't read it. I'm not sure who was, but you know, it's whoever owned the Bible. And when she goes into hers, just like mine, she finds the same photo or etching as I have in my Bible, and I believe she has the other one too, which is somewhere here. Yeah, separated by the rice paper, just like mine. So there you go. So it's the same thing. And then, of course, she goes to her scriptures. And just like I showed you, hers has changed. So anybody, I would assume at this point, that has the 1800 Bible would have these three things. And for me, I don't know how you explain this away. And I find it interesting, too, that people that want to deny this is happening. Let me get out of this screen share. How do we get there? People that want to deny this is happening, they'll always say something like, well, there's one that I don't understand, but doesn't matter. This one I do understand. Why that doesn't make sense. You can't have one thing. In fact, to me, that proves what I'm saying. You can have, I have a video that has 100 Mandela effects in it. If you can still find it on the internet, I can look and see. I play it time to time here. It has 100 Mandela effects in it. If 99 of those you can explain away in your mind, but there's that one that you can't, well, that's where you need to hang your hat, because then explain to me how that one changed. And if you can't explain it, which I understand, because remember,
there are no experts.
Why would you only talk about the 99 that you can explain? So that's what I'm saying. I understand the Mandela effect on some level is terrifying. People are afraid of it. I get it, because when I started this, like I said, I spent several days kind of freaking out about the Mandela effect. But again, it's not something that we're to fear. We're to only, put your trust in God. The fear of the Lord is where wisdom starts. And so if you know God and he knows you, none of these things should affect you. I mean, some of the changes that have happened were interesting because they happened during that COVID thing. Like, and I wasn't the first one to talk about this. It was, I think, Brian's channel again. It was the line where two or more are gathered. And then it switched to 2 or 3, which was exactly what they were telling us. You could only have 2 or 3 people for Thanksgiving, right? And everyone bring their own food and don't share food and hug grandma through a shower curtain. These were the rules back then, if you followed them. I had multiple videos taken down, and I was silenced quite a bit to the point where I still feel I'm shadow banned, where I spoke out against these things. And it wasn't a popular thing to do. And so it's interesting that that changed to 2 or 3 at the same time. There's been other examples of things that seem to shift. Like, for instance, the big one that people want to say didn't happen. It's the Lion and the Lamb. All right? Now, going back to, like I said, the Midnight Ride guys, they were goofing on me, they said, because I don't know the Bible. Well, I had just read it. I'm born and raised Jewish. I was taught not to read the Bible. I was taught Jesus was nothing but a prophet. In fact, I didn't even know until 5 years or whatever it's been that I was actually reading the first few books of the Torah when I read the Bible. They never taught me that. I was in some interview with somebody on one of these channels. I was just kind of shocked that I didn't know it was the same book. And so what they taught me as a little Jewish kid was to read these books and then close it and put it away and don't read the rest. You would never do that with any other book. And so when I started my awakening process and I watched all these different channels, and they're talking about Mandela effect, and they're talking about fake news, and they're talking about aliens and Bigfoot, and a lot of these subject matters, they all seem to end with this one thing. It was a battle of good versus evil, God versus Satan. And they all concurred the same thing: don't read the Bible. And so if you tell me anything like that, well, that's the first thing I'm going to do. And so I picked up the Bible the way I'm supposed to, with eyes of a child, because I didn't have any preconceived notions about it. And so when they question how I'm reading it, I was reading it. I was physically reading it, and I was also listening to it. I was fascinated with it. I still am. It's shocking to me that people will refuse to read it, but I understand it. Again, I was taught not to read it. Every time I actually try to read something, I'd start falling asleep. Like, you can read a book, Stephen King, till 2 in the morning, and you can barely stay awake, but you can finish it. You can open the Bible, and within a minute, you can start feeling sleepy and put it away. I don't understand how that works, but you actually have to have a hunger for it. You have to want to read it and understand. Is Ceiling Fan Man actually talking about things that are real? Let's find out. And go into that book with that feeling. You don't have to use Ceiling Fan Man, but whatever. Go into it with the thought that I want to see what's all the fuss about this book. Because the stories of the past, which they're still remaking. I mean, the whole movie, The Odyssey, is just a retelling of stuff in the Bible, just packaged for Greeks or whatever. But it's like, the stories are fascinating. They're exciting. They're full of intrigue. They're full of what do you call it? All kinds of sins. There's murder. There's what's that one? Adultery. There's false witnessing. There's all kinds of stuff. The stories are fascinating. They're fighting men. They're fighting lions. They're fighting giants. I mean, pretty much everything. Once I read the Bible through, I'm starting to see TV, movies, everything seems to be influenced, if not directly plagiarizing the Bible. I mean, that whole song by, was it Turn, Turn, Turn by is it the Birds? It's exactly the Psalm pages from the Bible, just word for word. They didn't change anything. They just added music to it. And so when you start to realize that there's so much, so if you go at it not thinking that it's some magical religious book, because I'm still not religious to this day, just so you know. I was born and raised Jewish. I had my awakening. I asked to speak to God, and I had my born again moment with Jesus. That happened. You can't pretend it didn't because I was there. You weren't. And so anybody that's had that moment, they know what I'm talking about. But I'm not special. I'm equal. I'm equally special to God. The hairs on your head are numbered. So if you really wanted to have this conversation, it's so easy. You do it. You can do it tonight. You close the prayer closet. You go in your closet. You shut the lights off. Don't have your phone. You sit there in silence for a minute. And then from your heart, you ask God these questions that you have, the existence stuff. And he says he'll come and talk to you. But you have to want it. He knows your heart before you speak it. In fact, he tells you not to speak it if you're going to lie to him. And so what I did is I started reading this book, and I found the stories fascinating and exciting in the past. And then when you get to the Gospels, oh, it's wonderful. Some people just love the Gospels. Why? Because you actually kind of feel first person what it was like to walk with Jesus. What an amazing time that would have been. And then don't forget David, and he writes with did he write the Psalms and the Proverbs? I don't know. David wrote Psalms but regardless, like the Proverbs and the Psalms, they're so amazing because you can kind of flip through it. That's why they call it the living word. And you could be thinking about something that's bothering you, and you can get the answers in those words. And you can find comfort in there. And nothing's new under the sun. In fact, that passage has changed too. And just so you know, another thing that they convicted me of, which was untrue, was that it's a different language change. It's a different version. I've only read the KJV, and if that makes me a snob, I'm sorry, but I grew up in my college years, and I had to take a voice and diction, and that teacher forced us to read all of the works of William Shakespeare. I've read his plays, and I read his poems. We had to do like papers and stuff on it. So I learned how to understand the these and they and whatever that they speak back in the day. So for me to read the KJV was fairly easy, but it can be a stepping stone for people that they trip on. The problem is the newer editions of things, they're changing words. They're taking out whole passages. There's a passage in the KJV where Jesus tells you that you can only remove certain demons by fasting and prayer. And now in the new versions, it just says by prayer. So that's a big piece of the puzzle that's missing. And don't get me started with the apocryphy books. My Bible has them all. But who decided to take those out? There's some amazing stories in there. And Jesus himself quotes from the book of Jasher and the book of Enoch. And those books, man, the book of Jasher fills in so many holes that the Bible does. So you start to wonder what has been removed. If we are living as I feel in the little
pizza,
that makes sense that he's hiding information from us. And I also look at it this way. The Bible has been written out right up to Revelation. The one part of the Bible that it really doesn't go over at all, I mean, just a few passages, maybe a line or two, is the time immediately after Jesus' 1,000-year reign, which seems to coincide with the 1,000-year dark ages here because Satan would flip it around. But Jesus' 1,000-year reign, and then Satan is let loose for his little season. It doesn't, and it says he's there to deceive all the nations, all the people. It says in there, who are those people, as Jerry Seinfeld would say? Why can't we be those people? I've always said that. Everybody wants to be the special children. The Jews over in Israel want to still be the special children, but that's been taken away multiple times. Read the book of Judges. He takes that away from them constantly. He took away the original promised land from Moses and his children. They didn't even get to go in. They had to wait for 40 years. So no, just because you got the special children stamp doesn't mean anything, because God can take that away. It's his ball game. He decides you get in by God's grace, period, end of story. Yeah, you're expected to do works, and you're expected to read and pray and all that. But at the end of the day, it's if God decides, you're doing it right or not. And so that's what you have to study and learn, the ways of God, because his ways are different than ours. And so when you've got a book that everything is written except for that last part, I believe that's why, because we're living it. If it's said in there specifically, because it talks about no one knows the time or date or whatever of the end, whatever the real end, but God. If we actually knew, in the year I don't know, 2028, March 4th, that's when it ends. Then wouldn't people just like party and do whatever they want, knowing they got plenty of time? That's why we don't know. That's why people are living, as they say, like, each day. Because God says, the next day is not promised to you. It's not. But I do know this. If you're reading the book, and read the book of Job especially, Satan is allowed to mess with Job in every way possible except take his life. And I believe that the only way that you get checked into this world is through God, and he's the one that checks you out. And so that's the other big fear that's taken away once you make that connection, is that once you realize God is real and he's here and he's listening to you, when he decides it's your time to check out, that means you have accomplished whatever it is that he feels you were here to do. And so what you do at that time, that's the whole reason of life of why we're here. And he put this in my heart that I'm supposed to be doing this kind of stuff. And so I'll do that until I feel differently. And I don't hear the booming voice of God, but he does talk to me. And it's interesting because when people do talk about this, I'll have a really serious question on my heart. And then I'll just have the answer. Like it was whispered to me in my head, but nobody whispered it. It just, the answer's there. And I believe that's most of the time. Then there's other ways. I discussed it just the other night on this show. I had something very serious that was going on in my life, and I didn't have the right answer for it. And I asked God, because Jesus loves to talk in parables in this book. You'll say, hey, Jesus, is it going to rain today? And he'll go, let me tell you a story about a guy that wondered if it was going to rain. And then you go into this whole thing, and then you go, okay, but is it going to rain? And then he'll say, let me tell you about a woman that wondered the same. And so I asked God, I said, okay, on this thing, treat me like I'm a 10-year-old autistic child. Like I want you to spell it out. In fact, I asked God, first I apologized if I was, overstepping my boundaries, but I said, please speak to me in a way that I can't deny what you're saying. Write it on a tablet like you did for Moses. That's what I said. Okay. And I don't normally do this. I went to bed that night. I wake up in the morning and there was a phone call I was waiting for, and I didn't hear the phone ring. That happens. And they left a message. And my wife and I were doing something, and I didn't want to play it, so I can hit the button to transcribe it. And it transcribed it, and it was the exact answer that I was looking for on the question I had asked. And I got blown away, because what was I doing? I was reading it written out on a tablet. So that freaked me out. So God can talk to you in ways and you don't even realize it. There are blessings happening in front of us all the time, and we chalk it up to coincidence or luck. If you take those words out of your vocabulary and you just call everything a blessing, you'll be shocked, because then you'll find out that as you look at these lucky things and you count them as blessings, you count your blessings and you prove God. I meant to hit this one. Where'd it go? I can't find it. Whatever. So, getting back to the Mandela effect of the Bible. Let's see. We got this. We got that. We'll go here. Whoops. Wrong one. Let's see. Let's do it this way. Clickety-click. Video. Here it is. Okay, so the big one. The Lion and the Lamb. Now, when I say everyone that I know of remembers the lion laying down with the lamb. Everyone! And I've heard it before. Oh, no, you're misremembering. It's always been the wolf and the lamb. And look at this old painting. Where, see? And you've connected it to this old painting, a painting I had never seen before I started talking about this, and people wanted to try to disprove it. It said Lion and the Lamb. It said it in my Bible. It said it in everyone else's Bible. And here's some proofs that you can see that everyone else felt the same way If I can find it now. Dang. I just had it. All right. Let's try it this way. Oh. Won't work that way. Okay. So we'll do it a different way. Sorry, people. Okay. Let's see. Do. Where are you? Here you are. Okay. Let's see. So we'll go here. Hopefully this works. Let's try this with audio. Okay. Let's see. And we'll put me over in the corner. There we go. Well, let me know if you can hear the excuse me, the audio on it.
When the lion will lay down with the lamb.
Did y'all hear the audio? Hopefully you did. So again, going back, let me know if you heard the audio. Going back to how much it costs to put these shows together, and you've got, they have script writers, and they have oh good, you can hear. They have script writers, and then of course they film it, they reshoot it however many times they need, and then they get to the point where they have to edit it, and then there's final proofing, and there's and yet it gets by everyone. Everyone.
When the lion will lay down with the lamb.
There is no sorrow or suffering. The lion lies with the lamb.
And the lion shall lie down with the lamb.
And on that last one, he's actually reading the Bible. So, I've heard the whole argument, oh, it comes from a painting, or it comes from a song, or a poem, or whatever. I've never seen your painting before you said it. I've never heard your song. I just know that all of these companies, they all do this. They all talk about Lion the Lamb. And if I'm wrong, show me all the wolf and lamb stores that there are, because there aren't any. Maybe there's some now. But you go to any Christian bookstore and stuff, it's lion and lamb. It's not wolf and lamb. And don't tell me that it's where is it? Let me bring that up. Let's see. Bring that one up. Hold on, people. Let me find this. Where is that? I think it's at the end here. Okay. Sorry, everyone. Let's see. Let's see. Wolf. All right, computer. Why is she finding this? Here we go. Do. Okay. Isaiah. Oops. 6. Ah. Yeah, in fact, if you watch my Bible video, it's one of the first changes that I talk about. Here we go. Clickety click. I have a video that I posted years ago about Mandela changes. Isaiah 11:6. Instead of the lion laying with the lamb, the wolf is dwelling. So when I hear this discussion, well, what does it matter? It still has the basic meaning of the passage, so it shouldn't matter if it looks like a word's changed. Is it on earth? Is it in earth? What does it matter? This is huge. Originally, it's the lion laying with the lamb. There's no more sorrow and everything's great. This is kind of describing, once again, a Mandela effect that I think is telling us the times that we're in. The wolf is dwelling with the lamb. It doesn't say they're really coexisting that well. It just says they're dwelling. And so you can try to convince me I've misremembered this, and everyone else and all the pastors at John Kerwin. And I went to there was a service someone was having. Remember this, Ginny, for your friend? Yeah. And they all had everyone repeat this prayer out loud. What was it? Oh, no, they did the Lord's Prayer, right? They read that one out loud, but they just did it from memory. And they all said, the whole congregation said trespasses. Every one of them. And it's the same with this. The lion lays with the lamb. There's thousands and thousands of examples. I have another video. I didn't find it in time. That proves to you that it's always been that way. And the wolf now dwells with the lamb. It's a completely different meaning. So no, I reject the idea that if the word is changing, it's not a big deal. That's like people that say that the fact that we're not flying through space on a spinning ball and the earth is, basically round and flat. Who knows exactly, but it's got depth to it. And the people that don't want to listen to it go, what does it matter? It matters. If you don't know where you are, you'll never be able to get where you need to go.
I don't care.
Oh, shoot.
No, thank you.
All right. Well, I'm not a scholar. I already told you.
There are no experts.
All right. Enough of that. But yeah, so that's the thing. It's like, it matters. All these things matter. The word of God is not changing. The words on that page are. And it's happening at your house. It doesn't matter how old your Bible is. It's happening at your house. And if you haven't seen it happen in your book, it'll happen but next time you look at it. Because the eyes have opened and you're listening to this and you look at it and you go, whoa, that's weird. And so what's happening is the Bible changes to me are the biggest ones. Where's this one? How about this? Clickety click. Let's see. Where'd you go? All right, you're going to play like that, then we'll have to bring it up a different way. We'll go clickety click. We'll go here and here. Oops. And here.
Judge not, lest ye be judged.
No, that's not it. Where are the ones that I made? Sorry, everyone. Let me figure this out real quick. Let's see, Judge. Let's see. Is this it? Let's look. Let's look. Hold on, people. No, that's not it. Okay. So we want to look here, Judge. Okay. I figured it out. Everyone's like, glad. Okay. Let me bring that one in here. And I know. I need a producer. That's the problem. That's one of the problems. Yeah, because I'm still not finding it. Okay. Where is it? So it's here. It's in Mandela's season. Okay, so it's here. And it's in here. No? Oh, she's sighing down there. How about Valhalla until I get this loaded?
Lastly,
To my friend Charlie Kirk.
What is that?
Rest now, brother. We have the watch. And I'll see you in Valhalla.
What is that?
Satellite tracking.
Okay. All right. Here, this is what I was looking for. Check this out. Here's the other one. Judge not, lest ye be judged. It's not written that way anymore. It now says, judge lest not ye be not judged. It's like the opposite meaning. So don't tell me that one word doesn't change a passage. It's a different meaning. You've got two double negatives. But then again, you've got all these shows where it got through.
You get fired over this, right?
Judge not, lest ye be judged.
Where did you get that?
Doesn't the Bible say, judge not, lest ye be judged?
I know judge not, lest ye be judged, but gross.
That we judge not, lest we be judged.
You judge not, lest ye be judged.
But doesn't the Bible teach us, judge not, lest ye be judged, Reverend?
Judge not, lest ye be judged.
So there you go. Did it end? Yeah. Every one of those got it wrong. How is that possible? How could all these people misremember it? The amount of effort it goes in to put those things, those cartoons and TV shows and movies on air. You're telling me no one noticed that it was wrong? Yeah. So, this is where I have the problem, is that you can be an expert on something. That's great. In fact, the guy, like I was telling you, Hat Man and them, they read all kinds of like demonic and satanic books and stuff, and they teach you what's in those, occultish and all that stuff. But then they deny the changes that's happening in the Bible. So are they reading the Bible? The ones that were mocking me for only have read it for a few years at that point, were they even reading it? Did they even take the time? They just took the upgrade. So it's really important, especially if you're a Christian, that you understand what's going on and the times we find ourselves. And to that aspect, there's people that think they're Christians or say they are, and they probably aren't. And I'm not saying, I hate labels. I've had labels put on me my whole existence in YouTube. But the teachings of the Bible, that if you read the book, it's in the very first pages. We're not a ball flying through space. There's a firmament. It's mostly flat. It's God's footstool. It's circular, and there's depth to it. There's shale, and there's there's water above and water below. There's your ball. But the living space is mostly flat, whatever's not underneath us. Plus, God also opened up where I think the Milky Way is. I think that's the tear in the firmament where the waters came in and the waters came up from the under and covered everything. And then the waters then receded, right? And we're living on that space now. After that, and maybe whatever other catastrophes have happened and revelation and things like that, we're on that level now. So when people are like, oh, you can't prove this, you can't prove that. You can't prove anything is science. That's why I make the comments, science and math, and shut up. Because they'll tell you what happened 6 billion years ago and have no way to prove it. They tell you what's happening millions light years or whatever that is away without any way of proving it. They just make it up. And they mock us because I don't believe that. I believe in the Bible. And then they're going to put on a white coat and tell you, how big the sun is and how far away it is.
There are no experts.
Then they'll mock you because you use Copernicus and all that. I mean, everything and every culture has told us, except NASA, that we're not a ball flying through space. They're the only ones. And so when you take that information and you see that, it's shocking to me. It's really hard to keep going over but I'm supposed to go over the same territory, because if you are a Bible believing Christian or whatever you want to call yourself, how can you dismiss that and think that you're still in space? God never talks about alternate planets. fact, they're wandering stars. If you read the book of Enoch, the planets are in trouble. They're not supposed to be doing these things. Those are our 9 planets. But you're going to believe NASA that shows you Pluto, which looks like the Pluto dog's face on Pluto, and they came out, the planet was discovered the same year as they created the dog. It's in my outro. But that's just another coincidence, I guess, right? So I don't know how you can read the Bible and dismiss the Word of God that way and say, well, no, I don't think we have a firmament. Even the guy that, what's his name, that went to the moon on his deathbed, on his gravestone, he's got the quote about the firmament. I mean, they tell you these things. It's just you have to decide to listen or not. And that's why the Mandela effect is huge, because so many people are afraid of it. And I get it. It could be terrifying, but there's so much evidence. Like, did you know your heart is now on the center of your chest, always has been? And yet I've got, where is it? Where's this? Is it this one? Oh, it's upside down. Well, that's no good. Let's do this. Oh, you have something for me? Thank you. Yeah, I was out of coffee. Thanks. We're going on water. Best water in town. Thank you, love. Okay, where are we at? Oh, I was grabbing this video. That's right. The water threw me. Let's see. Where is it? Let's go into... Let's look over here. Okay, here's the heart. So I came across this show, and this lady is very confused. And I'm sure glad that Lily Tomlin helps her.
This pain in my red blood thing.
And it's on that side.
Thank you. I wasn't sure what
Uh-oh, someone's getting fired. It's in the middle now. Or how about this one?
Fingers had a bullet apiece. I ain't got but the one bullet left. Sure hope I don't miss. Let me see here. His heart be on the left, but in the mirror be on the right.
His heart was on the left, but the mirror be on the right. And then, I mean, it goes on and on. There's a real famous one, Clint Eastwood. The, what is it, the one? It's not The Good and the Bad and the Ugly. It's one of the other ones. Fistful of Dollars. Where he fights a guy, Ramon. Ragu. Well, there was a Ragu in the Happy Days, you know, so there's that. This is why some people say my show's chaotic, but this is the way it is. God put it in my heart this way. But there's this scene where there's a guy that he fights, the big Ragu, with a rifle, and that guy's known for one thing and one thing only: shooting a person in the heart, because then he knows that he kills them immediately. And so that's a big deal, because Clint Eastwood, oh, you're right, it's spaghetti Western. I like it. That's a big deal. You get one of these. Because Clint Eastwood, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, it's a really good movie anyways. He has this famous poncho, right? And the guy shoots him, like, I think 6 times, most likely, directly in the heart. And each time Clint Eastwood stands back up. And then finally he reveals, he pulls the poncho off, and he's got this like steel plate that he fashioned. And it's a perfect circle where his heart should be. But it doesn't make sense in this correct timeline because it should have been in the middle. See how this works? There's things you can't explain away. And if there's just one that you can't explain, I don't see how you go on any show and act like you know what you're talking about. Because you can't explain that one. The one that got it for me was my mother's birthday, and it was always near Thanksgiving when it was the third Thursday. There's even a little anagram about the Thanksgiving third Thursday, like 3 T's or 4 T's or something. But no, it's always been on the fourth Thursday. So now it's like never really around her birthday. And yeah, what is it? Where'd it go? I just saw someone mention in the chat. Yeah, kidney punch. You know where your kidneys are now? It used to be it was illegal if you hit someone like below the rib cage there where the kidneys are, your lower back. They're not there anymore now. They're now up in your rib cage. They're protected. Like you really have to put some force in order to hit someone in the kidneys at this point. That's a weird one. Yeah, and then there's the interstitial tissue that covers everything. It's the largest organ in the body. So, yeah. Yeah, the below the belt rule. Exactly. After party with the Captain Alien. We got a couple. I saw Captain Rankin was in here. I hadn't seen that name in a long time. So, but yeah, it's, there's so many. Like I said, I've probably forgotten more Mandela effects than most people have heard of. How about that? So, but yeah, where should we go? Let me look at this one. What do you have here? Publishers Clearinghouse. Ed McMahon never worked for Publishers Clearinghouse. He even has a music video where he goes around in a rap video and he asks for the checks back because he's low on money. But in this timeline, not only did he not work for Publishers Clearinghouse, he never, ever delivered the big checks. In this timeline, go look it up. But then again, you've got this situation.
We should have brought our camcorder to capture her reaction like they do with Publishers Clearinghouse.
Well, you could use my phone, but you've lost your my phone privileges.
I have never felt more like Ed McMahon, and I have actually felt Ed McMahon.
So that doesn't make any sense now, because he wasn't part of Publishers Clearinghouse, and he never delivered checks. They misremembered it when they made that show. Or the people that argue and say that the reason that you know Mirror Mirror is because of the book of Snow White, because now she says magic mirror. She's never said mirror, mirror. I have a whole video on it.
Wallpaper will be so cheap that when you put up wallpaper, it'll be intelligent. Wallpaper will be as intelligent as your computer today. In the future, you'll go up to the wall screen and you'll say, mirror, mirror on the wall.
Now, why would he do that? She never said that. It's in the book. I didn't read the book. That's the thing. The people that want to push that the Mandela effect isn't real, they're either deceived themselves or they're purposely deceiving you. And they're giving you these straw man arguments that don't work. But they have a way bigger following than I have. So more people are going to see that. And so what I'm here to do is let you know these things are happening. And you need to hold the content creators' feet to the fire when these things happen. And don't allow them to stonewall you and go and just basically shut you up. And say it's a painting, it's a song, you're misremembering. I mean, they're so easy. There's so many of them. In fact, the guy, again, I feel to me, now he probably had someone that taught him. Because there's always been somebody that teaches someone else. I've been doing this, like I said, 7-10 years, whatever it's been that I've been discussing these things. And now there's more people coming along that are coming awake to it, and they're discussing it. But there was someone that taught me, and there was probably someone that taught Brian. But this is happening. And the guy that taught me this, in a way, he's always heard that Luke, I'm your father, as no, I'm your father. And that used to blow him away because like everything else has changed that he recognized, but that one has always been that way to him. So again, I can't explain this. Nobody can. But they don't always connect, every single one of them. But again, I'm not asking you to believe in every single Mandela effect. There's so many, I don't have the time tonight to go through this. It's the one you can't explain is the one I want you to concentrate on. The one that you say, well, that doesn't make sense. How is that possible? like the VW Bug logo. It's always been separated. It's never been connected. So why have this? So I was told about this show called Firefly. Put it on, and lo and behold, a few minutes in, what do we have here? Someone's getting fired. They need to separate that VW logo. It's not supposed to be like that. So, what's the big deal? I'll tell you one of the big deals is, how much does it cost to make Firefly Lane? That was the show. It was on Netflix, I think. Estimated cost per episode was $3 to $5 million. So you're telling me that on a show that cost between $3 to $5 million, there wasn't a single person that told them that they did that wrong and fixed the logo on the VW Bug? They just left it that way? They didn't care that... where's the other one I have here? Or Reacher talking about Cliff Notes. Do you know Cliff Notes never existed? There's now an S, Cliff's Notes. It's almost impossible to say it. We thought we'd watch the new season of Reacher and... So... Franz. Give me the Cliff Notes. Oh, he said it wrong. I'm missing after leaving this. Someone's going to get fired.
That was someone's getting fired, is what that was.
And don't get me started on the Jaws one. The whole, we need a bigger boat. He's chumming the water and the shark comes out. We're going to need a bigger boat. He doesn't say that anymore. Everyone else says it. Now he says, you're going to need a bigger boat. Like he's not part of it. Like he's not on the boat. Like none of these things, they're subtle, but they're huge. I mean, don't get me started on, what do you call it? Moonraker. There's a guy in there with the metal teeth jaws, and he falls in love with this lady at the end, this young gal. And the reason they have a connection is he smiles, and she has full railroad track braces, like the kind I had to have when I was a kid. They're all metal wire. They're huge. And that makes sense. That's the joke. You go and watch it now. She has no braces. Why does everyone remember she had braces? Oh, because they made a commercial years later where she was at a check stand and she smiles and has braces. That doesn't make any sense. The backpedaling and the shuffling around to try to make me believe that I'm misremembering it, it gets frustrating, it gets irritating, honestly. And I expect more out of, honestly, than content creators. If they're going to cover these subjects, please do some diligence and look into these things, because people have talked about them for years. I might be new to the Little Season community, but I was talking about it in my community. I just didn't know they existed, And then that's when some of my Christian friends were like, well, we still believe in Revelation's coming, and some believe in the rapture. And so we all kind of split up there anyways. But I have no hate in my heart. These are my brothers and sisters in Christ. So they see it differently, but eventually it'll all be shown to us. But for right now, I just want my audience and anybody that I can reach to be based in this, to know that something is happening that you can't explain. There's so many Mandela effects. And then in addition to that, there's people sharing what they call misinformation on the Mandela effect. First of all, there was the Mandela effect movie that basically said anybody that talks like this was like a crazy serial killer. So that was really nice they did that. But some people start sharing. These things make the round, I'd say, every couple of years now. I'd see him.
All right, this is
you got this guy that he says that he when he goes from one room to another, his Berenstain book turns into Berenstein. But these were proven back in Brian's day to be photoshopped or whatever you want to call it, because it changes the Berenstein inside the room. It's a fake video. The guy made it to confuse things. And then people were sharing the heck out of it, which once again just makes you look bad if you're now sharing this and then people prove that it's a fake video, which has been proven. So if you see this video, it usually makes the rounds on Facebook and stuff, which I don't do, but it's on there occasionally. Just know that it's fake when he goes in the room and it changes. That doesn't happen. That never happened. Same with this one. This is the other one that everyone seems to share every once in a while. The guy that shows with the his old Nokia phone, he can look into the parallel universe. It's all garbage. It's made up. It's Photoshopped. It's AI. It's whatever you want to say. This isn't a real video. So try your best not to share these things, and know that these things have been gone on for way longer than maybe you've even looked into the Mandela effect. This misinformation is all that is. Here's what we found. The actual thing, say like the scripture, that changes. But all the things that kind of parallel to it, if it's not the actual writing or movie or whatever, those don't change. Here I have a Mandela box. Let me get that. What can I put up here? Go grab that. What do you guys want to see? Oh, how about the ceiling fan helicopter? We met as soulmates on Paris Island. We left as inmates from an asylum. And we were sharp as knife. That's my singing. You like it? See, some of us are old enough to have these things. This is my Forrest Gump VHS cassette tape. And on the back, if you can see it, it says, quote, "Life is like a box of chocolates. You'll never know what you're going to get." Only when you actually watch the movie, he doesn't say that. He said life was like a box of chocolates. So why would they write it wrong on the box? Someone misremembered it and they did it and nobody cared? You know how much money this cost to put these things out? No one cared. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. The Our Father kids book. It's even got it on the back. Trespasses. Why would they write that? If it's always been debts. They just misremembered and no one cared. Got a whole box of these things. What else we got in here? Forgot about all this stuff. What's this? Oh yeah. Look it. Someone paid to have this made. The Volvo. It's a money clip. If I can get it to focus. Someone paid to have this made. Anyways. It's hard to see, I know. I'm trying. There. You see that? Problem with it is, that's not how the Volvo logo is. Volvo. The Volvo logo has always made to look like the male symbol with the arrow. I don't remember that. Whoever had this thing made didn't remember it either. I've got a coin here. Well, I gave it to Brian, actually. That's funny. That shows the Statue of Liberty commemorative coin on Ellis Island. Problem with that is it's never been on Ellis Island. It's always been on Liberty Island. That was news to me. And the fact that it's sitting on a star fort, and then you say, what's a star fort? Hadn't heard about star forts until, 5-7 years ago. Everything just had a star fort underneath it. So the timeline, I don't understand how it's working, but it's changing. There's not just the Great Wall of China. There's 2 other Great Walls that they never taught you about in school. They just all pop up. Then someone mentioned the other day on some channel, I forget. So, and I've done whole shows on this stuff. I was actually, for a while there, kind of known as the Moai guy. And when you get to the Moai, where are they? Those are the statues on Easter Island. And there used to be only so many, and they used to just be heads, and then there's been a ton of them, and then they have full bodies, and they got arms, and they got nipples, and all kinds of stuff going on. But these guys with the hats, not on my timeline. I remember guys in basically, what do you call those type of hats that they wear? The special people wear. They look just like those. But what's that? No, the fuzzy hats that special people wear, you know. And so now they have these hats, and they're all over the place. They keep digging out more of them. But and then you go, well, maybe this is something new. There's a painting. And they have the hats. It's like an ancient painting. So once it changes, it changes throughout history. Yeah, here you go. William Hodges. Hodges. Let's see how old it is. I don't know. Let's see. I reject your cookies. Now I want a cookie. Got any cookies? Huh? Yeah. There you go. In the 1700s, the Moai had hats. Not on my timeline, as they say. I don't understand how this works. Nobody does. But it's happening. You can try to deny it, but I don't see how. I don't see why, unless you're just, like I said, terrified. It is terrifying. I can see why people don't want to look into it. But if you're not going to look into it, don't just regurgitate the stuff that you hear on a YouTube channel and tell me that I'm misremembering because of a painting or of a song that I've never heard. That's not how this works. Where's this other one I got here? Let's see. No, not there. Have these things scattered. I do need a producer. Well, it's not in there. Okay. So we'll deal with it later. Let me look in here. All right. I think I'll cover most of those anyway, so that's okay. We're good there. Yeah. So what does all this mean? How does this connect to each other? I believe the Mandela effect proves the times that we're in, and I believe that the times that we're in prove the Mandela effect. They connect. And God told us, excuse me. God warned us, told us to look out for these things. I'm supposed to tell you when I see these things. I'm not supposed to ignore it. There's a thing that said, where is it? Let's see if I can find that. Let's try here. Yeah, I did find that. Okay. So we'll go, let's just try it this way. Oops. One more try. There we go. Let's bring this up. And this is a gentleman that I've done shows with. Oops. And he occasionally pops in the chat, or his good friend Finn writes Krispies. But this gentleman's channel is, there we go. Oh shoot. Jeannie, what's his name? Another gentleman that I do, George, Rogue Nation. He wears these glasses that are Mandela affected, because as I remember my timeline, We were taught the red under the blue represented like the blood of the fallen soldiers. And but of course, it's never been that way. In this timeline, it's always been white. And he audited this place, and they have it wrong too, which I thought was interesting. And then I took this picture, and they have it wrong too. As Brian used to say, the red under the blue. And then here you got Uncle Sam. And go look at this. I talked about it, I think, even last week. He's never had these red and white stripes. And then another Bible passage, I distinctly remember Jacob wrestling with an angel, or some people remember it God himself. That's never happened in this timeline. Now, even though all these old paintings and pictures and drawings all show Jacob wrestling with an angel with wings, go read the passage now, KJV, that's all I know, and he wrestles with a man. But you're going to tell me that that didn't change and it's no big deal? It's a big deal. See? Genesis 32. And there wrestled a man. You can tell me that doesn't matter? It really matters. It does. Here's Biden talking about how he remembers when he was found in a basket and raised by Hebrews. Problem is, he's never been in a basket. He's always been in an ark. I don't know where that picture is. But go read that. Now he's in an ark. And this one I think was from the Flash movie. And it's got Looney Tunes with the O's instead of the way it is now with the U, which makes no sense. These are cartoons. Toontown. But that's changed. That's now UNE. This one I took because there's a Home Depot near us. Biden remember something? Yeah, that's funny, Trish. There's a Home Depot near us, and of course now it's always been, never has been anything other than the Home Depot. I guess they took Smokey the Bear's the. But in any case, that's the sign on the actual store, and this is on the highway going into the store. Ruh-roh. Do you know these signs are minimum of $20,000 to $50,000? And you're telling me that nobody realized that they had it wrong? I'm not buying it. Or the fact that the Scarecrow has a gun. In fact, all of them are armed now. He has, like, I think, a giant hammer and his net. And then Tin Man has an axe, but he has a gigantic wrench. Yeah, see, I think there's a hammer or DDT. And then a net. The Scarecrow has a gun. And this guy has his axe in this hand, and now a cartoonish gigantic wrench. First of all, where do they get these things? Second of all, where do they go after this scene? But you're just going to tell me I'm misremembering it, a childhood memory that I've seen. They show this thing every freaking year. And I never saw this, and I'm misremembering. Okay, if you want to live that life, keep your head in the sand. There's Smokey the Bear without the with red suspenders. How about the fact that Chewbacca gets a medal, but he no longer does in the original movie if you're Star Wars nut? I distinctly remember Princess Leia having to reach up and him bend down, and then he reaches up the sky and he goes, oh, and it ends. Now that scene's changed. How did they change it? I don't know. I don't understand how quantum Mandela effect physics, Marvel Universe timeline, Loki works. None of us do, but it's changing things. How about the fact that C-3PO now has not two golden legs, one silver one? Oh, but why does this photo exist from the original movie where it's two yellow legs? Oh, it's because it's the reflection of the desert, which is causing that, whatever. Okay, what about this one? I don't see the desert causing any reflection problems there. So I'm misremembering it. Then why does this photo exist? The dollar sign. Now they say you can have it either way. I've always known it with two lines, but apparently it's always been mostly one line. And you can look at your computer right now and you'll see it has one line. In fact, before I even knew the Mandela effect, I was kind of called out on this. I was drawing dollar signs with 2 lines, and this person asked me, why am I doing that? And I thought, my gosh, did I not know this my entire life? No, I know it. It changed. The Wall Street Journal even puts out their ad, and they don't even know what to do. Here they got 2 lines, and then they got 1 line. So now apparently this time I can have either one. No, it's always been 2. You can't change my mind on this. And this guy, OxyClean, he's never said, but wait, there's more. Never, ever, ever did he ever say that. And yet we all seem to remember him saying it. Now they say it's the other guy, the guy that had said it and forget it. No, it was this guy. It was OxyClean. Apparently in this timeline, he's never said that. Do you see how there's so many? I mean, I don't have time to go through these all. I've forgotten more than there actually is. Here's a great one. If you're in the nursing field or any kind of medical field and you quote HIPAA, you don't even know how to spell it anymore. What used to be, because my wife is a nurse, it was the Health Insurance Portability and Privacy Act. They can't talk about your medical history to people because they have to keep it private. But not anymore. It's never been this. It's always been this with 2 A's. And instead of privacy, it's accountability. Explain that one away, Mandela denier. You're not going to be able to. Because anyone that's in the medical profession, they will, without seeing this, they'll know. HIPAA, 2 P's. They might even know what they mean. But never, ever has it been 2 A's, no 1 P. I'm misremembering it, right? Because I'm old. How about this? This is actually the Illinois Department of Human Services. This is a sign at their department. It's a HIPAA violation. Oh, you guys, you misremembered and spelled it wrong because it's never been that. What does it matter? How about these things? It's an abomination for a man to wear a woman's garment. That's in Deuteronomy 22:5. And then Moses puts girdles and bonnets on Aaron's son. And you're going to tell me that didn't change? God is not a liar. God does not make mistakes. These 2 passages contradict each other. That doesn't make sense. The great falling away is when the majority of the church justifies the supernatural Bible changes and demonizes those warning about them. When a Bible changer denier supports God spreading dung on people's faces. And this is the reason why people go, see, how could you read that book? Look at what's happening here. Look what's happening. It's because these things are changing. And then you got the Christian Bible deniers going, oh, they haven't changed. It's always said God puts dung on their face. Where's the rest of these? Yeah, this was, now it's We're the Millers. I remember this as Meet the Millers. It's actually kind of a funny movie. Did you know pyramids have 8 sides and not 4? If you look from the top, each one of these has a perfect fold in it, like an origami thing. I didn't know that. It's news to me. They exchanged the truth of God for a lie and worshipped and served the creation more than the creator. And this is why God allows the strong illusion of the supernatural Bible changes. Because people are getting in love with this book and they're forgetting why it's there. You're not supposed to praise the book. You're not supposed to pray to the book. You're supposed to pray to God and use the book as a tool. I can use the hammer to build the house, but not praise the hammer for building it. I can use the hammer to build the house. That's a better one, Jeannie. She heard that one. That's a better one. Where's the thing? I can't find it in time. Oh, here.
Now, who can argue with that?
Robert!
So, yeah. Where'd it go? We all done with those? Let me see. here we are. Why can't I find it now? I messed it all up. Let's see. I think we covered most of it. Let's see. Am I missing any? Oh, yeah, there's this one, which was really funny because I told you they I did this really nice interview, and then they mock me. And where is it? And then they used to end all their shows or start them with this line, "The truth shall set you free." And that one's changed. It now says, "The truth shall make you free." But they have it wrong in their own thing. And the other guy that got mad at me was Russian Vids. I've done streams with him. Had a lot of really interesting information, helped me along with my awakening process. He used to play this song at the end, someone wrote for him. And the lady sings in it, "You will know the truth and the truth will set you free." And then I made comments on it and he took it down, and then I don't hear from him anymore. But that's fine. I'm not upset with him. I'm not arguing with him. I don't hate the guy. It's just, I have to report the news. And if you're going to put it on your channel and it's wrong, I have to mention it. So, wait, is that everything? Okay. So let's see. I think we covered all those. Make sure I clear through these. I don't want to miss any of this stuff. And I did my best to give myself a guideline so that way I could find them all. But obviously that didn't completely go through. So let's see. Did I get these? I got all that. I do want to show this because probably people haven't seen this in forever. Because, like, why do I choose Jesus to be the person that is my Savior and the person that I want to listen to? And this guy sums it up really good. I like it. Let's see.
In all the Eastern religions and all the cults and all the world religions, they always gave some credit to Jesus Christ. The Muslims say that he was a prophet. The Christians say that he was an incarnation of the Godhead in his age. Yogananda and all these different Eastern teachers said that he had Christ consciousness. You know, they always use words like Christ consciousness, Christ this, Jesus that. The Buddhists would even say he was a Buddha. You know, he was another incarnation of God like Buddha was. And in all my searchings, I saw that all these people were pointing to Jesus. They're going, well, yeah, Jesus is one of the ways, but we're one of the ways. And they wouldn't all agree on anything except that Jesus was one of the ways. And then I looked into the Bible. I did this all through intellectual reasoning and laid it out on the table and figured it out that if they all gave him credit and he only gave himself credit, and they all agreed on one thing, that he was one of the ways, and he only agreed that he was the only way. So I figured I had no choice but to go with him. And then I started praying to Jesus.
Is that perfect? I think it's perfect. Right? Yes. Right. Here's where. Thank you, honey. What do I have? I can't find that guy in time. Here he is.
Now, who can argue with that? Robert!
So I have been beating this drum for quite a while on the same subject. And I like having other people look into it. But dang it, if you're going to look into it, you better come prepared and not fall into these old traps that we've covered. Many of us have covered for years. It doesn't do anyone any good. And I want to thank Ann. Now, I've seen her name forever. So thank you, Ann. God bless you. We got $5 from Ann, Jeannie. So. And the one thing I have found is the people that have stuck with me, this chat has turned into be one of the most loving, generous, and caring chats, and it's fun. It's fun to be in this chat. God has created this system that the show has its own show within the chat, and I love it. And I go back through and I'll read the chat, and if you send me any email or comment, I'll always make sure to write to you back, because if you're going to take the time to write to me, I'm going to write back to you. And so I do appreciate all of that feedback, and so continue to do that, please. If you want to write to me anything about tonight too, ceilingfanman2020@gmail.com. And so I don't know. I could go on for hours. I can do multiple shows on the Mandela effect. You can also watch, I highly recommend, where is it? Let's see, clickety click. We'll go here. If I can find it really fast. Oh, I know. I could do search. Let's see. Oh, okay. I'll get back to it. I'll get there. Okay. Let me go back in here. And yes, I have another thank you. You don't have cash? Well, thank you, Vincent. And there's PayPal too, but thank you for the super chat. That's wonderful, and I very much appreciate it. God bless you. So, and then there's Trish. Trish, or maybe this one was Scott. It's hard to say. So, and I keep forgetting, and Jeannie's reminded me, if I could find, I don't know if she has any comment in here, if she's in here. But thank you, Joy, for all the hard work that you do, too, for the channel. So if I don't say that enough, I just wanted to mention it. But, yeah, there you go. Captain Rankin. I said I hadn't seen you in a while. Maybe. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. Yeah. And anybody that does it like this, if someone's talking to you and tells it like they can't be wrong and they know it is and they talk down to you, that's what I'm talking about. You just really can't, you can't do that, because none of us know. I'm just reporting what I feel is the things that I'm witnessing. So, okay. All right. Oh, I know. I was going to say, if you get time, go and look at, this is on my channel, and what does it say? 3 years ago, but I think I had to re-upload it. But it's called Bible Changes the Sign of the Times. And it goes through how they changed the religions, and then it breaks down into this copyrighted song that I can't play. And it goes through the passages that I've seen change. And this is a big one, John 5:8. Arise and take up your mat and walk. Of course, now it's never said that. It says bed. There's where is it? 7 instances of unicorns. 7 instances of unicorns. And you can go through this. For some reason I can't see it on here. But, oh, there we go. I'll go back up here. Yeah, 8 instances of urine in the Bible. And then, of course, there's a part where God says that Moses will see his backside. And then you go on the Sistine Chapel. It's actually, let me get rid of the music so I don't get messed up here. It's actually there. That's on the Sistine Chapel, right next to where God's touching Adam's finger. Then you got alien is in the Bible. Let's see. This was one that changed for me during that 2020 stuff, right? Because what I remember, like it says here, he will deliver you from the snare of the fowler and the deadly pestilence. But now that has changed. Instead of deadly pestilence, it's now noisome, which makes sense if you're hearing something coming over a computer screen, but you're not seeing it in real life. Like, show of hands, how many people actually, I don't want to get struck on YouTube, but there's very few people that you know of that had the mortality rate that they were saying was happening. It was more noisome than deadly. We'll say it that way. Then you've got bottles, of course, in the Bible. They don't put wine in wine skins now. They put it in bottles, which I don't believe existed at that time frame. Then you've got Matrix, of course, is in the Bible. And then what else is on this video? And then the homosexuality, where it's 2 men in a bed and 2 women grinding. And I distinctly remember this was 2 men in the field, and this was women grinding at the mill. But no. So now, and then of course, hallelujah, which literally translates to, here, I think it's in here. Praise Yah. It doesn't appear in the Bible anymore. That was a pretty big one. And then this one I came across on my own. I don't know anyone else was talking about it because I don't watch everyone. But again, the book of Job is the one I love reading. And this is right at the beginning of it. It's the most famous passage, of course. The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. And so I've described this before. I've told my wife, when I see a change, I immediately ran to her like it's a board to my face. I'm like, that doesn't sound right at all. Because now it says, the Lord gave and hath taken. This is actually from my Bible, this photo. It's all past tense. Oh, what does it matter? It's just one word changed. No, it matters. It changes the whole tense, the whole idea that God's blessings can keep coming. No, this has already happened. It's in the past. It's over. So it makes a big difference. You've got Jesus dying on the cross, but now in the book of Acts, he dies on a tree. Hanged on a tree, hanged on a tree, hanged on a tree. So again, you can find this all in my Bible video. But it's happening. You can continue to deny it. But if you know the change is happening and you falsely lead people to that, that's something you're going to have to work out with God when you see him. And so if I'm wrong, God will correct me. But he's put it in my heart. It says in the end times that we're supposed to have it written in our hearts. And so as many times as I read the Bible, I'm still reading it. I used to drive and listen to music and stuff. Now I listen to the Bible. It's really interesting rereading the passages. You always find something that wow, I didn't concentrate on that last time. But there's certain things that, no, you can't tell me I'm misremembering. It just doesn't work that way. So I think I've beaten this horse to death at this point. I've talked about 3 hours. I didn't do my scary space news. I guess we could do that really fast if you guys want. I know some people are already bailing because it's late. But for those of you that stuck it out this long, let's hit these really fast.
This week in Scary Space News.
Scary space news. So someone sent me this because I talk about this. And for the people that want to mock you, if you don't believe in ball Earth that flies through space, you have to believe that Elon sent a Tesla up into space. This is an actual photo. And it's heading to the sun. But now they're saying there's a chance it could go through orbit and come back and hit Earth. So it's another thing to worry about. Could Elon's Tesla come and crash into us? Because there's plenty of garbage flying around space, around the Earth. Here's a demonstration. This is all currently right now flying garbage around Earth. Never hits a satellite, never hits a space station, but that's what's happening. And prove them wrong. They got a cartoon. I don't have a cartoon. And you got this. Where is it? Was that it? I guess that was all Scary Space News. Last two things was, one is, at some point, when you get so far deep in the ocean, it turns into Tim Burton's movie, right?
Oh, we're down in the ocean. Oh, that fish has depression. That's a squid depression fish. That is a STD with eyes. You should not touch it. It's in the ocean. You should also stay away from it. That is a DMT squid, also known as don't fucking touch it. It's also in the no ocean. You should stay out of there. Mine.
Anyways, there's we're worried about what's in outer space, whatever that is. Meanwhile, we have not plotted the oceans. And when you read the Bible, there's like dead things under the oceans, and creatures come out of there. I mean, shale's down somewhere beneath our feet. So I don't know, but yeah, these are pretty interesting. Of course, you've seen this one, but I think that's about it. But these two things, that thing and that, no bueno. I'm all set, as Steve would say. And lastly, look, so another part of the puzzle to disprove the existence of God is science tells me that this is a dinosaur. And from this, they can actually create what it would look like. Its skin color, if it had feathers, the noise it makes, the reproduction, how it would reproduce, how it eat, where it lived. They know all of that from these bones. And so I asked Grok, could you show me what this looked like? And this is what it showed. The problem with that is, this is the skeleton of an antelope. Current antelope. But do you see how easy it was to turn it into a dinosaur? And if you go into the museum, all the dinosaur bones are all cast. They're all fake. They tell you they have bones down below, but they don't show those. And so the fact that you can take an antelope and turn it into a dinosaur, what that does is it removes us. It sticks us flying through space again. It sets our timeline into millions and billions of years, whatever they want to say. And according to science, excuse me, everything smashed into the earth. The water got here from smashing in. The moon got here from something smashing into it. Diamonds, gold, anything they can't explain smashed into us billions of years ago. And they can tell you what's at the core of the earth, and they've only gone down 8 miles. They just make everything up. But they put on a white coat. And that's why I had that shirt someone made me. Because of science and math and shut up. Because if you question these things, they tell you you're a science denier. They'll tell you that there's math that you don't understand. Or they'll just tell you to shut up and dismiss you. When all I'm doing is questioning these things because it doesn't add up anymore. And so one of the worst things you can ever do is to come out and say that you believe that the earth is somewhat flat. I don't like saying flat earth, but Bible earth. People look at that person like more of a retardation than people that believe in any of these other theories. Like, that's the level you can't go to ever. And so just like flat earth, to deny the Mandela effect is to really deny the supernatural changes that are happening. And they are happening because this is a spiritual battle, and you are blessed to be in this time. God chose you to be in this time. What you do with that and what you do with the knowledge that you've been given, that's on you.
Now, who can argue with that?
Reverend!
All right. Well, now I think I've beaten this to death. And I think we'll close this out. Did I miss anything? I think I got all this. Got the tiger in. Got everything. Got the helicopter. Yeah, I think we got it. Sweet. All right. Well, hopefully, that cleared, if nothing else, that cleared up my position. Now, what you want to do with that on your channels, that's on you. I have no bone to pick with anyone. I don't have to debate. I don't have to argue. I just present the things as I see them. And what you have to do, if you're a content creator and you want to deny this, you have to explain, not the ones that you know. I want to hear what you have to say about the one you can't explain. Because if there's one Mandela, quantum, whatever you want to call it, that you cannot explain, well, then that sort of proves my side. Because I'm telling you, there's at least one that everyone can't explain. There's always one. Everybody gets one. All right. Having said that, Thank you for everyone that's still here. Thank you for being here. Anybody that's listening to the sound of my voice, may God please come down right now and watch over us. Comfort us in these times. Help us. Give us the understanding. Show us where to look and and what to listen to, and guide us so we can understand the times that we're in. And please, Lord, continue to fill our hearts with joy and to provide the comfort that you've promised to send to us. We need you right now more than ever as we wait for our brothers and sisters in Christ to find out all the truths that we're showcasing here. We were lost and now we're found, and so are they. And I thank you for the fact that you've opened my eyes and allowed me to see these things and given me a voice and a platform so I can showcase these things and so everyone can see the glory of the true, loving, living God that I pray to and that loves us all equally. And I pray that they find you tonight or soon, and their eyes are open and their hearts are unhardened, and that we can all be together in the loving embrace that I know from our Lord Jesus Christ, through our Father in heaven, in the Holy Spirit. Amen. Okay. That's it. With that, he says this with a knife in his leg.
Class is dismissed.
Okay, so let's all gather again together very soon. And if nothing else, by next Friday, same bat time, same bat channel. Check your local listings. Thank you so much for being here. And as long as God puts this in my heart to do, I'll stay here with you. And I can't thank you enough for your love and support, and continue to just hang in there. That's all I can say. Like the poster with the cat, right? Hang in there. All right. Everyone have a wonderful weekend. Don't fight. Don't beat up and fight your neighbor. That's not your enemy. But we need to be together in truth, justice, and God's way. I don't know, that's not the best ending. But anyways, good night, everyone. Love you very much. Have a good night.
I'm the satellite.
500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was flat.
Satellite transfer complete.